mutable ones.
Oh, right.
Hello. 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 I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Actually, Frank, could I get you to rotate the camera a little bit? Because I'm only half on camera and everyone wants to know what I'm doing.
It's true.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's
Friend of the
the
show,
things you do before you go live. Is that the thing that we just did
Live.
after?
Can you zoom in like right here and then have a slow pullback?
Yeah. So, hi. Welcome to Happy Jacks. This is the Sunday morning game, which is why my voice sounds so good.
We all sound super sexy this morning. That's
Welcome to the
basically
game.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Also,
Hi, I'm Adam.
yeah.
And Batman.
Adam, who?
Adam West.
Yeah, I mean, you just walked right into that one.
I did.
Hi. So we are playing a PBTA game called Impulse Drive, which is ideally suited for replicating your Firefly game, playing in the Expanse, any kind of like gritty sci-fi into a little bit like high science fiction, like, you could do like an independent ship set in Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever. It doesn't fully support like a big magic system like the Force or something like that, so it's not very fantasy focused. It has a little bit of support for like the River from Firefly, where she's like psychic, I guess, something. Right? She can kill you with her brain, so that's fun. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a second. I think I said I'm Jason. You can follow me on Twitter at It's Probably Okay, just the letters OK. And the game that I made, Demigods, you can find it on there. That's a later conversation.
DemigodsPBTA.com.
Yeah, it's at my Twitter.
And at DemigodsPBTA.com.
Okay, great.
It is a great game.
We also have some lovely players joining us today. Will you say a little bit about who you are and what playbook you've picked to play today?
I'm Jen. I'm playing the intellect, so I'm going to be a scientist or doctor or mechanic or something like that.
Cool. Do you have a sci-fi model in mind of like a character you're sort of aiming at as a model?
Not yet. Still working on that.
Cool.
I'm Brian. I'm going to be playing the Outsider, which I guess for Eberron is sort of like a Warforged.
Sure.
So
That's
sort
fine.
of like a Robbie the Robot, maybe a little bit smarter and more
Yeah,
personal
we
than that.
need. Warforgeds are fully.
Yeah, they're fully
intelligent
sentient,
and- yeah. Okay.
So more like a Marvin.
Yeah, probably more like a Marvin. Yeah.
I am Pooja, and I'm playing the Infiltrator, Skilled Burglar, Assassin, Spy.
Playing against type. Yeah.
Nice guy.
A hamburglar or just burglar?
Oh, we have to run that game. at
These
some
are
point.
important. Yeah, just all the like.
All the McDonald's characters.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can call me
Oh, God, no.
Bond.
No.
Jane Bond.
Nice. I like it.
I might make that my name because the names are my
Are
nemesis.
you aiming the character to be sort of Bond-like? Is that what you're sort of arcing at?
We'll see. I don't know. Like, I got choices.
Don't pigeonhole her, man.
Okay. Just really want to make sure our audio is coming through.
He doesn't want you to
Oh,
introduce
would you
yourself.
mind? Thank you.
Clear.
'Cause no one's
Are you
in
here?
chat yet this morning at 9 o'clock on Sunday, so
What?
yeah.
We're all awake. How are you?
Yeah.
For some
Speak for
definitions of
yourself.
awake.
Right, yeah.
Who's that?
Just kidding. It's hi, I'm Adam.
We're all very tired.
We're all very tired. I'm like, I don't know how you run a game at this point. Like, I could barely play. But hi, I'm Adam, and I am. I was gonna play the Mystic and be kind of the like, the sort of like withdrawn like shepherd book type. But then I realized like we have nobody who's like gonna be sort of captain-y on our ship, so I grabbed the Scoundrel instead.
We were all smart enough not to want to be captain.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Great, I get to go last.
After yesterday, and
yeah,
your
no,
experience as Captain
no.
Snow.
So
poorly.
I'm gonna play the Scoundrel, charming rogue, smarmy huckster, or connected criminal.
Well, which is it?
Yes.
I'll explain the setting a little bit more before you have to decide stuff like that.
Cool.
You're just on all these.
The other thing is, have you all looked at the ship playbooks enough to have an opinion?
No.
No.
Okay.
not to have an opinion really, except yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like once we talk about characters, we may figure out what kind of ship this is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you. These are
These are
just
all
the
the
unused
ship
playbooks. Okay, yeah. So keep the ship ones out.
Ship.
Oh hey, thanks James V. The audio's okay. Also, Verk checked it for us. So awesome, thank you. All right, so the setting we're using is what happened?
It was like the long pause.
Yeah.
To look at the thing and then laugh. It was like, hi.
Yeah. Now I want to know what James said about us.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I
That's
figured
probably
it
that's probably.
Was,
what it is.
it was more like I was looking to see what the chat said and then realized several seconds had gone by. I'm like, whoop, time lapse. Okay, hello, I'm awake, and that made me laugh.
Hopefully,
It's like when you blink and suddenly it's 7 hours later.
Right.
hopefully you're as tired as we are.
Yeah. I found my ineptitude amusing. So the setting is based on a D&D-ish campaign that I ran on Happy Jacks years ago called The Desert of Despair, which was actually pretty fun, if I say so myself. And I've always wanted to revisit it. There's an island south of or it's kind of southwest of where Sharn is, out in the Thunder Sea, if you're following along at home and give a shit about where these things are. But this pretty big island is out there. There's a major city with like 1 million people living in it, another major city with like 100,000 people, and then this fishing town with like maybe 10,000 people, which is a pretty big town for fantasy. But this small town on the edge of a big sandy desert is called Brine, and it is in a region that is so Brine was a fishing village that mainly supplied this great big city called Karazosh in the middle of the desert that's built up on a rock. It's also called the Emerald City because they're just lousy with gems, and so that's kind of their big profitability thing. And a big portion of the population, I mean, there's elves and dwarves and everyone, but kind of like the predominant population there are orcs and half-orcs, and so that's just part of the setting there is the idea that there's this big desert city, and that's most of the people that live there, and then Brine is also like that, but it's a mix of people, right? It's not like homogenous, sort of one note town. So the town of Brine, however, years ago, I should back up. So in Eberron, there was a great war, the last war. A great big magical nuke went off, basically wiped out an entire country, and it is so scary because nobody really knows why it went off. Right? If somebody had set it off on purpose, everyone would go like, okay, that person won the war. But the war stopped because no one wanted to keep, we were scared of keeping fighting. We didn't know, did we just use too much magic? Did somebody set off a weapon that we don't know about? Either we all used too much magic and made a whoopsie, or somebody did a thing that we don't want them to do again. Let's all not fight and figure out what's going on. And so there's very sort of Cold War, also kind of pulp noir vibes that, we're figuring out questions of who's who and what's going on. Oh, do you have a sheet for me?
I do have a sheet for you.
Thank you. We'll get everyone to sign in.
Are we supposed to turn those lights on?
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so maybe I'll just have everyone put their badge number next to the thing. Oh yeah, good idea. I was
the
prepared.
front bill.
Hello. Yeah, that's lovely.
What's your badge number? 1, 2.
We're playing from OrcCon 2020. It's one of the Strategicon conventions that we visit every year. We come here 3 times a year and do all kinds of fun stuff. So be sure to check out strategicon.net.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Did you want us to sign it?
Do we do
No.
that? I don't.
No.
You have to.
You do, but we don't.
I just was offering.
ID.
We're very famous people.
Yes, very famous.
We're very famous.
Oh, for those of you who don't know how the conventions work, you kind of have to put in this paperwork and say, hey, we ran this game, and because they want to keep track of it and they want to know who's playing and what, and make sure that like
Know who's
gates
to
are
blame.
filled. Know who's to blame. Yes. Yeah.
We
But
are
also
always to blame. Happy Jacks as a group.
always to blame. Yes.
Yeah.
But those of us in Happy Jacks, this is our chance to play with fans and people who aren't normally on the stream and are wonderful friends of the shows, and they get to play on stream with us.
We're all here for Jen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah. So don't screw this up,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Celebrity guest Jen. Yeah.
Locally famous.
Good luck.
Right?
Okay.
Locally famous. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So did everyone read their ascendance
on.
moves or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a thread.
All right. We didn't skip that. Good.
No.
So the setting is very much this kind of post-war vibe. The slider on playing in Eberron is how long after the war are you set, right? And so I'm going to set us a few years after the war, which is a pretty long period for how most people run Eberron. In that it's been a few years, fighting has not resumed. We're almost thinking maybe peace will stick. Like maybe that's a thing that we can do. Yeah, so it's been long enough that people are hoping that peace is a real thing. But a year ago, back on your big island is called Well Down, right? And it's like the size of like the big island in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit bigger than that because there's like a couple major cities on the island, and there's no volcano, but there's a mountain range down the middle of it, and it's basically shaped like it looks like an inverted version of the main continent, which I'll pull up for everybody here. And if you want to just Google Eberron map at home,
If you click the map at the bottom of your screen, a pull-up window will happen. And
Yeah.
it's like right there.
What?
that's not
That
true.
works?
That's not true.
No,
that's
none
not
of
true.
that is
But if you
accurate.
pretend that it's true,
Yeah.
it'd be really cool.
So this is the rough shape of Eberron, right? Is this
Yeah.
sort of upside down horseshoe, more like horseshoe crab shape, and Well Down looks like a kind of flipped lengthwise
But
version
like
of
small.
that. Yeah, and much smaller.
Much
Yeah.
smaller.
It's down here in the Thunder Sea, which is just southwest of Sharn, which is the biggest city in the whole continent of Corvair, or this not. Yeah, Corvair is the continent. So, Sharn is this great big city with like floating layers. It looks like a wedding cake. It's this like 4 ringed layers that float because it's very close to a rip in the elemental plane of air, and so it's very easy to like hire an air elemental or like enchant floating charms and things like that. So you have flying cars. I put air quotes around that. We have like when you come to the city, you get like most people go to the first vendor and get at least a 1-use Featherfall charm, right? And people who live here, it's sort of like buying your bus pass. You go get a reusable, like Ring of Featherfall, right? Because you're probably gonna fall off something eventually.
They have no guardrails.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a lot of
It
low
wrecks the
magic.
line.
No
Yeah.
no guardrails.
Yeah.
It's not invented yet.
So that's the Sharn is the mainland, and if
Helpful?
you could establish trade with Sharn, that would be great. But what happened a year ago for you, which is still a couple years after the war, is a necromancer figured out how to do something that no one's been able to do before, which is control a whole army of undead, and did it by manipulating an old spell, like cast a field of death, basically. When he got to Brine, he like pulled into Brine with these barges of already like sort of torpid zombies and skeletons and all this. Pulled into Brine, because the island is a pretty good foothold, like if you were gonna invade Sharn, let's say, or cause a lot of ruckus, this island, Well Down, would be a pretty good spot to do that from. And so he rolled into Brine. This field of death washed over, turned everybody in town into undead, and so most of the population of Brine. Okay, good.
You good?
Yeah,
Hi, Stu.
Yeah, I'll get it all.
We're out.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Nice to.
Bye, Zach.
Stu is here. We're all saying hi to him. So
Yeah.
and you can't see that on camera, but we saw it for you.
Or did we?
Well, it's early. We might have just that might have been imaginary Stu.
He's a ghost.
Oh, imaginary Stu. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Ghost dude just took the iPad though, so.
Well,
Poltergeist Stu.
yeah, good job, Ghost.
Yeah. way to corporealize.
All right, so the setting that we're working with here is that Brine, everyone who like the thousands of people who lived in Brine were instantly dead, and then raised as zombies, but they don't look bad. Like they're not rotting because they just died like a minute ago. But they are undead, right? And that starts to become clear. Anyone with detect undead is like, oh, you're a zombie? What? But the way the necromancer spell worked is he left everyone with basically their sapience, with just the minor thing of like they think it's a good idea to do what the necromancer says, right? But they're not mindless zombies, right?
Okay.
Also, everyone in the graveyard got out of their graves, so there's a lot of the skeletons running around. Like generations of families are reunited. Of like, whoa, great granddad, hey,
You
lost a
some
lot of weight. Yeah. Yeah. No, not like that. He's just like, oh, why am I in this grave? Like, oops, oh, my skin's gone.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Awkward.
Yeah.
and that's partly why the
Did he
town.
leave the arthritis?
Anybody who hadn't crumbled to dust, so probably anyone who's died within the last couple hundred years is getting out of their graves and finding their families. Like, oh, hey, this is cool. And so it's now a town of people who want to still pursue their life goals because the necromancer got killed. Spoiler for Desert of Despair
No.
from 3 years ago.
No.
No, I'm not gonna watch it.
But it freed the
Ruined.
people, but they're still undead, right? And there was a process. Some elves had come up with a way to resurrect folks into living bodies, but most of them chose to just no, this is who we are, and this is what we're gonna do now. Some people chose to resurrect, but the town just sort of adapted to its new sort of unlife. And in that also there's room for Warforged, which is a really popular concept in Eberron, where you have these mechanical golem robot type people who were built to just carry out the Great War, or the Last War is what it was called. And suddenly the war was over, and we had thousands of war machines who oh, what now? What do? And but they were essentially sapient. A bunch of them are just dumb robots, but a bunch also, many are sapient, and so that's an available thing. So when we're picking characters, you could be a live or undead orc is probably the most common type of person here, because Brine is still providing the big city in the desert, Karazosh. They're providing them all the services they used to provide. It's like their port city, and you have to take a caravan across the desert. But the folks at Brine are great at doing this. They don't get sunburned, right? They don't drown when somebody gets knocked off the ship. They're just like, well, help. Can you help me up, please?
Yeah.
From the bottom of the ocean.
Right, yeah.
You get a little bit of the Pirates of the Caribbean sort
yeah.
of, walking across the bottom of the ocean.
Right, yeah. Throw me a weight to hold me down, and I'll just walk.
Right. They walk down under the pier to, scrub barnacles off the bottom of the ship. Their ships are in great repair.
I can't believe this is my job.
Yeah. So usually the skeletons get that duty because they don't get nibbled at as much.
Yeah. And also, they
Could
can
hose them
just
off easy.
use their
Yeah.
bone arms to
Yeah.
scrape.
That's specious.
When your arm's like a loofah. I mean, really.
Right?
All right.
It's right there.
So, our setting of we could just now microscope in on Brine.
Okay.
All of you are from Brine or Karazosh, or maybe you moved here afterwards. The rest of the Eberron world is aware. Most people have heard that Brine exists as a city of undead folks, and there's a lot of misinformation. Sounds like there's a car horn in the lobby of our hotel,
Yeah.
which
And a fire truck.
seems
Yep.
unlikely, but
I mean, that's-
not impossible.
It's
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why this con's exciting.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Because the hotel might be burning down.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the hotel next door.
Well, we're going to stick
Either
it
way.
out regardless because, gaming.
Yeah.
comes first.
Yep.
Always.
So the so the rest of the world is pretty unsure about what's going to happen with Brine, and how is this going to make sense? What are we going to do with this? The and the city of Brine, and I'll say city because like 10,000 people is a bunch of people in a fantasy town, right? Like that's a lot. So the city of Brine is now engaged in a sort of communication push of like, hey everybody, we're actually just real good at sailing and shipping, and we can ship for you, right? And they have cobbled together their very first airship to have the four of you go out and sort of defend the name of Brine a little bit. So there are a number of ways that we could look at doing that. One, we could head to Sharn and try to get the trades guilds to set up shop in Brine, or like re-acknowledge the fact that there are a bunch of like union tradesmen in Brine who just happen to die, and now they're undead, right?
Our license may have expired,
Right.
as one with our buys, but
Right, but they want to renew and rejoin the unions,
Right,
and so they like the city is willing to do everything it's supposed to do, but people are like, yeah, but you're zombies.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a bylaw.
Yeah, let's push past that.
Right.
Oh, and some of this is based on some really cool Eberron lore. That there's a line of elves. I think it's the Aeronal elves.
Valinor.
Valinor, thank you. Who came up with a way to be not evil liches,
Yes.
basically. Like they turned themselves into undead after living 1,000 years anyway. Oh hi.
You do still have to be super creepy.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, can you unplug that light and plug it back in? 'Cause it keeps like flicker.
Oh, yeah, it also just might be flickery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a bit, I thought maybe it was like my eyes, because I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm tired. I'm like, huh.
Yeah,
it gets a little
Perhaps seizure. Okay.
If flickery is a problem, we could turn it off and just live with
I'm
that.
probably the only one who sees it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't notice it until you said something. Now I can't not notice
Right.
it.
I blame Christoph.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
It's warmer too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're-
I think
This
it's
is really,
Now
this
we're
is
two
really,
different
this is really going to
colors.
bring out Adam's like good side here. It's going to be nice.
What'd you say?
Now we're two different colors.
Oh yeah. Okay, should we switch to that one?
It's
as well?
dimensional now.
Yeah, that's it's a little colorist.
I mean,
Yeah. All right.
uniformity in color temperature is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Kinda nice, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Happy Jack's
Weekends.
mornings.
Well done.
Wake up to us.
Well done, sir. All right. So the you might head to Sharn to figure out what's going on with the trade guilds. We could have a whole like Senate meeting and just kidding. Referring to the most boring Star Wars movies of all time. The other thing is there are a group of pirates in the Thunder Sea who are like, oh yeah, we're from Brine. That's fear us. They're not from Brine. They're just using the fact that like evil undead, and they have like, oh yeah, I'm a zombie. They like black out some of their teeth, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah,
Cultural appropriation.
yeah, it's pretty gross. But they're waylaying ships that are going through. Like the Thunder Sea would be a great place to go through, but there are already a bunch of the Sagwin are like a sort of lizard folk / fish people. There's a bunch of pirates there who mostly live beneath the waves, and then there are also sort of air-breathing pirates who sail on, and they get in conflict with each other. But there are lots of opportunities for contact there. You could try to make a deal with the Sagwin. You could try to take out pirates. You could do any number of things, right? So that this isn't necessarily locked into one way to explore this, and some of this will be exploration. So, does anybody have an idea of who they want to be from Brine?
I have a little bit.
Adam has yes face.
Yeah. Only because
That's why he's captain.
Yeah. Only because I found out the premise for this after I agreed to be in it, and Jason was like, "You're all either undead or orcs." I'm like, "How do I mean, This is so far off my brand. So I'm
Hey,
going.
are you saying there aren't hot orcs with abs?
No, I'm not. Which is
Because
how
I follow that guy on Twitter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the angle I'm going with this. So, so I've had this character concept brewing for a while because I've wanted to play a half orc and see how that half orc of the world lives. But I was trying to figure out a concept that I could play. Yeah, I did that joke. Thank you.
Just live with it.
Yeah. So basically, my character is a half orc, who ended up such a perfect blend of orc and human features, that he was so obviously beautiful that the orc community he was raised in rejected him and ridiculed him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bullied him.
He's too pretty.
He was too pretty for the orc community, and they really shunned him and treated him harshly, and so he turned to sort of a street urchin kind of life, doing the whole like Oliver Twist thing and picking pockets and stuff. And
Sure.
Yeah, and I think after a certain amount of time, ended up on a pirate ship and learned how to pirate.
Okay.
And
So was away from Brian when the death
Yeah.
bomb went off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And spent some time out in the sea pirating, and then has come back and
Kind of a like Dread Pirate Roberts vibe of
Yeah.
like went away, got real cool, and
yeah
yeah.
exactly yeah. So
Had a makeover where they took his hair down and his glasses off. They're like, oh my god,
yeah.
he was hot the whole time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the character concept you came up with after Jason filled you in. Like, this is the last minute character concept.
No, I've had this idea of like
okay.
the half orc who was too pretty to,
Okay, gotcha.
too pretty to fit in for
Okay.
a while as a way to play a half orc.
Gotcha.
I was eventually going to do, and I'm like, well, this is a perfect opportunity.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
Andrin.
Andrin. Okay. And what playbook?
Actually, no, Onder.
Onder.
Yeah.
It is.
Onder.
Onder hot orc. Got it.
What playbook
Yeah.
did you pick?
The Scoundrel.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So he's
Okay.
kind of like a Dread Pirate Roberts kind of.
Greenhound
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dread Pirate Solo.
Yeah,
Dread Pilot
yeah.
Solo.
Dread Pilot Solo Reynolds.
Yeah.
That's
Got it. I love it. Okay. Pooja, do you have anything in mind? I can come back to you.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, I guess
So much pressure.
So I'm playing Driftwood. He's a Warforged, so he's a sentient construct who literally washed ashore, on the island after the day of mourning, and with like visible damage to his head. There's like a big crease in his head.
Oh, like an axe when
Yeah,
I hit it?
yeah, and it's like they've since sort of like repaired it as best they could.
Sure.
And he is a little broken. He kind of doesn't exactly. He certainly doesn't remember where he was before everything. Before arriving on the island. It's been a while now, and so he's acclimated, to life, but he doesn't quite get anything. He doesn't quite get culture. So it's like, 'cause I'm playing the outsider playbook, so it's all about sort of not quite grokking to how things work. And so Drift is just, happy to be along for the ride and really struggling to understand anything.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Adam, there is a question in the chat about the ab count.
Oh,
that's important.
Well, he's half orc, so
127.
extra. 12.
12?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
I like my answer.
What is the physical description of this too beautiful half orc to exist at home?
So I mean, he has just this sort of like 6'8", perfect physical structure. He's like a marble statue come to life.
Okay.
But with this sort of like iridescent green, like it's almost like it's not actually sparkly like a Twilight vampire,
Sure.
but like
Glinda.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Maybe with the
alphabet.
salt spray and
Yeah.
the ocean air and
Exactly. Yeah. It's almost
Yeah.
like this. Like this sort of like just slight like Pooja's complexion with your shimmer. on your
The
cheek.
amount of glitter
Yeah.
I have on my face right now.
Pooja has just this slight coating of glitter like all along her cheeks and eyes, and it's
I
gorgeous.
mean, the rest of us
It
did.
is.
The rest of
It's
us did a
very well
little
done.
glitter, but Pooja really rocked it
Yeah,
this morning.
yeah. It's like that perfect. Like you look at him and you're like, "Oh, is your skin glowing?" No, it's just the sunlight.
Okay.
hitting
Yeah, look,
Or
I
Donis.
did walk
Yeah,
into
or
asking
Donis.
Adam
Yeah.
how handsome is your character.
It's
That's
true.
on me.
Yeah,
I did that.
that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he's got sort of dark brown hair that's sort of long and usually kept braided along the sides.
yeah, okay.
And then just kind of like
Just to
flops
hold
over.
it back. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
flops
not
over
the
in
front
his
part
face.
because you have to have the emo section.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. I like it.
Yeah.
How much poetry has he written?
Oh, none.
Okay.
No.
How much has been written about him?
Lots.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's good. That answers the question. And
It's
what
all
is
bad.
It is all bad. Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
from jealous people.
Yeah. Right.
Brian?
For sure.
Does your Warforged have a name?
Yeah, Driftwood.
Oh, Driftwood. Yeah, you said that. And what playbook are you
Oh,
using?
I'm playing the outsider.
Okay. And that kind of has some stuff about being like kind of the
Alien,
weirdo of the
yeah.
group. Yeah, you're
Which is
different.
why I said, he
Yeah.
quite doesn't get it.
Yep, that makes sense. And what does your Warforged look like? Clockwork, clay? I mean,
He's
it could be
he's
anything.
wood and metal.
Okay.
With he has like the sort of the magic runes that allow
Sure.
Warforged to work stuff engraved into him, and it has a giant dent that's sort of like badly repaired, like with different
Yeah.
materials in his
Sure.
head. I don't know if we all know each other, or is that something we're gonna do?
Oh yeah, we'll establish. So we're
We'll
gonna use this
Decima.
awesome game called Decima.
Decima.
What's
What's
Decima?
Decima?
It is the R&D for your RPG, and currently kickstarting now at goldenlassogames.com/kickstarter. I'm so glad you asked. It's a tarot-based sort of setup game that you can bolt onto any RPG you're going to run. It has character relationships and connections. It has descriptors about the place that you're in, which could be anything from a continent to your little cargo ship that you're running together. And also kind of establishes some things about the world that is collaborative, and it really puts a lot of the world creation in a shared hands. It doesn't offload it from the GM, it just shares it with the table really evenly. And so it is
I think if they click on the link at the bottom of the screen, a little pop-up window will show a demo, right?
That's not true.
That's
That's
not
all
how
that
that
is.
works
That's
now.
not
but I think if you hit
always.
exclamation point Decima in the chat, something comes up probably.
Brian is a liar.
I don't know that I'm wrong.
Yeah, is
I just
it
might be
lying
wrong.
If you is it lying if you don't know it's incorrect?
Yeah. Bye, Stu.
Yes. Bye, Stu.
Depends on if you can reasonably intuit that it is incorrect.
Okay.
I can't
For
see-
those who
I
are
can't see the chat.
confused, a ghost of Stu just wanders through the hotel room every 20 minutes or so. And we
Yeah.
all say bye, Stu. And
Yeah.
Just coming in and picking up equipment, though. Pretty soon we're just going to be sitting here with one chair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's how you can tell the
Like,
con's ending.
Lighting with our cell
Right,
phone
yeah.
lights.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird ass game of 10 candles.
So, Jen, what can you tell us about your character?
So my character is named Kara.
Mm-hmm.
She is a undead orc.
Okay.
So she came back when the big undeading happened.
Yeah.
Before she died and undied, she was an old lady.
Okay.
She's an engineer and a scientist, and was really excited about this airship project.
And so did dying actually kind of revitalize her a little bit?
It actually did quite a bit. 'Cause
Yeah.
She was quite old when she died, so crawling around under engines and things was really not a thing that she could do anymore.
Right.
And then coming back as undead, with the bad back and the bad knees and the bad
Yeah.
eyesight was
Yep.
just not a problem anymore.
Right.
So she thinks it's great.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep. And the way that I handle the sapient undead is kind of like how we do, how elves don't have to sleep all night, they just have to meditate for a bit. I think undead have to, sapient undead have to like chill out for a little bit, and like maybe you don't literally fall asleep, but I think you have a period of like sort of you wouldn't be fully like if somebody came on the ship, you're awake, but you do have to like kind of like sit and think about your feelings for a minute.
I'm gonna stare
rest,
off into the middle of the
recharge.
ship for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Cappuccinos.
Yeah, exactly.
Contemplate the great beyond.
Okay, cool. So Kara, say Kara or Kara?
Car.
Kara, okay. And that's the Intellect Playbook.
Yes.
So that's going to be perfect for an engineer / scientist undead orc.
Artificer.
Almost like I planned it that.
Yeah,
Like an artificer.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know who did that on your head, but it was very shocking.
Yeah.
There's something on my head?
Well,
Never mind.
Okay.
there was.
What hump?
Pooja.
Okay, I'm playing Melita, and she is an undead half-orc,
Yay.
and she is she was an intelligence agent who worked for the government during the wars, and then when the necromancer came in, she was like doing a job in Brine.
Oh, so she's not even from Brine.
No.
Oh, dang.
She wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Oh, poor thing.
I love that story.
Oh, man. That's so good.
And then the next thing you know,
Were you 2 weeks from retirement as well?
I already
was
had
her-
the watch.
this was her last job.
Yep.
Of course.
Great.
Did you make the mistake of telling someone that?
Said it out loud at a pub.
That's, yeah.
Hey, I get to retire after this. This is great.
Only
Like,
while
I
we were
might
back.
take up fishing. Who
Yeah.
knows? But in any case, so suddenly she finds herself undead
Yep.
and
Whoopsie.
kind of weirdly beholden to some rando dude she's never met and
Yeah,
doesn't
that part was
particularly
icky.
care
He
for.
had taken away everyone's volition, and that way he's a monster. So,
But, like-
the real monsters are humans.
So she was suddenly out of a job because you can't really work when you never know when somebody's gonna be like, hey, why don't you just, and you'll do it.
Yeah.
But after the death of the necromancer, suddenly she can work again.
Mhm.
She's real excited about it.
Yeah.
Except now it's peace.
Yeah. And if you were to just wander into Sharn by yourself, probably some overzealous level 1 would just jump out of the shadows and try to kill you.
So annoying.
Because zombie, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
the problem we face. Like
Yeah.
those Veronal elves who have achieved some sort of mystic, undeadness to keep watch over their generations down the line, are like 1 in a million, right? Like no one's ever met one of these elves. It's just a thing everyone's heard of. Like maybe it's true, maybe it's not. So a sapient zombie walking into Sharn is going to be an issue, even though they've heard of Brine at this
Yeah.
point.
And at least I'm fresh.
And what?
At least I'm fresh.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's it makes the whole infiltration aspect a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So
and
I tend
you're,
to stick
you're the
around.
infiltrator playbook, is that right? Okay.
So I tend to stick around Brian with these troop of fools to
Which ship? Oh, ours. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm there. Got it.
All right.
KK too.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, the has everyone had a chance to look over their playbooks a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, I vamped far too long. So why don't we go around, Adam? Tell us a little bit about what the Scoundrel Playbook. You don't have to read all your moves
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
but just give us a sense of what you're into.
Yeah. Okay. No, the Scoundrel is very much based on Han Solo, Mal Reynolds, that kind of character. Charming and perspicacious, out to seemingly sort of for himself, but a heart of gold underneath.
Yeah.
Always actually does the right thing eventually. Yeah. So kind of really good at deception and subterfuge, but also pretty competent fighter as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And I don't remember if we said this on camera yet, but all of your kind of sci-fi elements, like if you have a blaster or a gun or something, we'll say it's a wand of something, right? Because it's still the Eberron setting, and so we'll just convert all those little things on the fly to, whatever it is. And this is a big experiment, obviously, and we'll just wing it and say it was fun at the end anyway, even if we didn't have a good time. So
Yes, it was so fun.
Pooja, what's the Infiltrator all about?
The Infiltrator is all about getting into places they shouldn't.
Whoops. All right. I like it.
And
So we should sneak somewhere.
yes,
Okay,
there's
got
a
it.
lot of sneaking. There's a lot of taking things that don't necessarily belong to us yet.
Yeah, well, they do now. Once you're
Exactly.
holding it, it's
I mean-
yours.
Like, I've touched it, therefore I own it.
That's science.
In the case of Melita, I'm gonna say that her career now as a master thief, that she was beholden to an organization, then the whole undead thing happened, but
Sure.
whatever. Now she has a reputation in the criminal world that gets you a lot of leverage and respect.
Okay.
And I start with a magical tactical cloak.
Yeah, nice.
And I get to mark XP when I steal something of significance to myself or someone of great influence.
Okay, so we need to steal shit.
So, it's interesting. The signature move that the Infiltrator starts with is called the Setup. And you get to roll to ask questions when you're using your contacts or skills or charms or magic to prepare for an incursion into hostile territory.
Okay.
Also known as anywhere I'm going to steal things. You get to ask questions about like their defenses and security and where the target is, or like if I have a mole on the inside. So things like this. It's fun.
Okay, I like it. Brian, what's the Outsider all about?
So the Outsider seems to be about, honestly, really just being alien. I mean, it's really just seems to be designed as like you are from a different galaxy and you don't quite get it.
Yeah.
And so for Eberron, we'll change that on the fly. I think it's looking at all the various moves. It really seems to be about a lot of it is like pointing out how absurd customs are and how absurd like some of these rules really are.
Oh, I like it.
And so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's the Neighbors TV show, but in a playbook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The signature move is weird. It's called Truly Alien, and it basically just has you, or has me, finish 3 and 6 of these like statements like I can only communicate by blank.
Oh,
but it
yeah.
doesn't seem to do anything.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
sort of
more of a
character
character thing,
establishment
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So I will signature move all the time.
Oh, I just had a funny moment. I could see your sheet from here, and I could see where you wrote a +1, but my brain turned it into a 4. I was like, I don't think you can have a 4 in a 2.
I wrote it down. It's in pencil, sir.
Like, wait, what is he doing over there? Oh, never mind.
So and I think for the background that I can select, there were 2, and one was like when you say how seemingly inappropriate actions forward your machinations, you get advantage. But I'm like, I don't think he's that with it. So I'm gonna check the child, although I'm not Baby Yoda.
Nobody
Don't
is.
sue me, Disney.
Yeah.
But
Shh, can hear you.
I know. The child says, when you learn about a part of everyday life and grow in an unexpected way, you mark XP. So that should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, Jen, what's the intellect got?
So the intellect looks like it's very much built on Kaylee and Firefly, or a character like Naomi Nagata in
Yeah.
Expanse.
Nice. Okay.
So
My
Both of
2
which
favorite
are
characters in
amazing.
science fiction.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So Kaylee Nagata.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Nice.
So it's very build stuff, repair stuff. You've got 2 backgrounds to choose from. You can be an academic, in which case you're expert in book knowledge-y, medicine type of stuff, or you can be a technician, which is what I chose, which is you spent most of your life living and working on various special stations and factories. When you spout technobabble in regards to a vehicle, ship, or machine you are modifying or repairing, you have advantage going forward to your modifications.
Oh,
or
awesome.
repairs.
Do you have the Technobabble thing?
I do not have the
There's
technobabble.
there's a sheet with like a whole bunch of Technobabble suggestions
nice.
on it. I'll find it here eventually.
Did you? And you
Oh.
said you.
Yeah.
You
So
helped.
the back of the basic move sheet has this spout technobabble, and you could sort of like pick this, this, and this, and
Got
you know
it.
if you just need like a spark, or you could come up with your own. Like just if that's helpful, you're welcome to use that. I just thought it was awesome that the game has a like
Yeah.
spout technobabble example. Put this adjective with this noun and this verb, and
Yeah.
like ta-da! It's Mad Lib's technobabble.
Yeah,
like,
it's really good.
brilliant.
Yeah. Did you say you were like part of the design team of this ship, or you worked on it?
I
or-
certainly worked on it. I think probably more building than designing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So the most airships like this are built in Sharn, where you can hire an air elemental to like run the power of levitating this thing. Out here in Karazosh, we're a lot more closer to the plane of Earth. However, Earth has cool floaty rocks, and so you have an Earth elemental who has agreed to come on for some like strange amount, like a copper, a silver, and a gold every like 28 days. Like, what? What? Okay, that's very little money and very helpful to us. So,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, elementals are very alien in like really any setting, but in this setting.
But he's
the-
very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very nice guy.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he's
it's
nice.
just
He's a nice guy.
interested
He's a nice
in
mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a kind mountain.
Yes.
And
wants the love.
Right.
we'll let's use they them pronouns for our elemental
Yeah.
because they are animate rock and probably humanoid gender concepts are what?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it just looks like an animate pile of boulders that mostly sits as a pile of rocks in the middle of the below decks, and then sort of gets up when it has to do something. But most of the time, it's just like, oh yeah, float rocks. This is fun.
Great listener.
Yeah. You can go down and talk to the elemental all day. I'll look up some elemental names in a minute. But
Knack.
the first question we
Ship.
should answer is this a ship where the four of you are in charge and you have, let's say, like 8 or 10 crew members? We wouldn't go any bigger than that. We're not going to have like a 100-person crew. Do you want 8 or 10 crew members, a couple of NPCs, or is it just the four of you running this thing? Any of those are fine. It's what do you want to have around?
Well, if we're gonna go more like sneaky, sneaky infiltrate-y or kind of more like political personal stuff, maybe it's like a smaller
Crew.
Yeah.
smaller crew.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be the four of you.
Yeah,
we-
I like a couple of
Yeah.
Let's give you some
Okay.
NPCs.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we're going to use the word red shirt or nothing, but I mean, it's,
I'm not saying that we haven't eaten 2 goals.
yeah. I mean, we're not. The captain makes them wear those red cloaks for a reason.
What?
Well, they're easy to find when they fall in the water.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Right.
Swimming is not until after work time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Someone
so,
fish out Timmy.
the last thing we should do before we jump into our relationship cards that I'll talk about in a minute from Decima, there are 3 ship icons, 4 ship icon playbooks, and we may not dive into the full extent of what all these ships mean, but it'll help me get a sense of what your airship is like. And so one of them is the Smuggler, which is all about getting through places unseen. The Predator, which is about kind of your bounty hunter type ship, right? Where you're going out to bring people in, which is legitimate for this. Marauder is kind of built around being a pirate ship. And then what's the 4th one?
Vanguard.
Oh, the Vanguard is like your ship of the line. You were maybe you've retrofitted an old military airship or something like that, and it's geared as a tank ship. So it sounds like we're probably more like smuggler marauder territory, if that's helpful to narrow it down that far. And why don't the 4 of you pick from there?
Thoughts?
Where are you guys? I don't want to dominate.
Well, I guess actually the Predator bounty hunter ship could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably just take Vanguard out and then we'll decide
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vanguard
exactly.
seems a little too like
Yeah.
galleon of war sort of a thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of like this because the Predator has a nemesis and feud. It's like your group has a nemesis.
Oh,
Yep.
that might be good if we've got if there is an actual pirate that's out for us.
Yep.
And,
Could do.
yeah. Maybe a former captain of mine, possibly.
Jen, what do you think?
I'm good with what was that? Predator.
The Predator.
Nemesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. I don't know. Is there something similarly special about the others that have a? Is that a move? Or, yeah,
Marauder
it's just
seems to
something we
have a
Infamy.
infamy, and it has, well, in the description it says it has a ruthless power, but I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, it's much more piratey.
Yeah, it's definitely built at like taking down other ships.
Yeah,
and
either smuggler or
the smuggler has something about getting in places unseen or like being real fast as well.
Yeah.
running. It has a
Some feud.
drill
That's really
space,
cool.
right?
Smuggler starts with dead.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like us. I mean,
I like the nemesis and feud idea.
Yeah,
that,
I'm down with that.
to be that makes
Okay.
Predator a little more interesting.
Cool.
And,
I'll take that. And all right, so we're the Predator ship. Oh, good. I have a copy of all these. So I can look at it too. Okay, so the four of you. I didn't have to look up to see how many people were here. That's just a number that I knew off the top of my head.
Yeah.
that's how early it is.
So the four of you have been living in Brine for some time, but at least a few months. But you all know each other and have been working together, and were selected as like the town, well, the big city Karazosh in the middle of the desert, funded this project to like get an airship up and running because they need Brine to be more functional, right? Like currently, Karazosh has more money than it can spend because they're just crazy with gems. They're like, we want to buy things. Brine is our port. We need things.
please bring us stuff to spend
Yeah.
money on.
We live in a desert, and you have fish.
Right. and like taking an airship to Karazosh is like okay, but the desert has like it's actually safer to travel across the sands of the desert, and so they don't want to like airship in and out of Karazosh. So like they need Brine to be functional, right, and to do the thing. Karazosh is not full of undeads. It is mostly orcs and half orcs, but it's still like it's a functioning city that is now sort of hamstrung because they can't buy things or export anything. So they would like to do those things and also be reconnected with the guilds. And, so they have wizards who can port in and out and like some stuff like that is set up, but that's pretty inconvenient for mass transition. So those are things to keep in mind. The four of you were chosen to head up the main part of this crew. You have, let's say, 3 crew members who are going to be assisting you with, pulling lines and scrubbing decks and that sort of thing. I'm picturing kind of a ship that has the front half of it is it looks like kind of a classic sailing ship, but up in the air. The front half is an open deck, and the back half is all enclosed with that like upper deck where there's the wheel, and then under that are like several cabins, and then there's like the cargo hold underneath but the whole thing is appropriate for like 8 or 10 people to live on, not 50 people, right?
Yeah.
So it's that size.
Okay.
And you actually can set down on the water if you need to, right? Like, or you could hover over land if that's helpful as well. But that's the sort of thing to keep in mind. Like, if your elemental gets killed or something, you need to sit down in the water.
Yeah.
that would be the gulp.
And I can be used as a flotation device in water.
Wouldn't you be better at sinking? Or your wooden parts make
Wooden
you
parts,
float?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Driftwood, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you did float here. I
Yeah.
forgot that. Yeah.
I me
He's a
too.
witch.
We all float down here. Maybe.
I'm a witch? Wow. That's cool.
I'm a what?
We need
No,
to
a
name
witch.
our ship.
Oh, yeah,
Who?
we do have to name our ship.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's bad luck to
Yeah.
set sail
We-
without.
We found that out last.
Oh my
yesterday.
God. That was shocking.
We went through a 3-hour Decima game. About 2 hours in, we went. We haven't named the ship yet.
Yeah, that's why all our cards are inverted and
Oh, yeah.
It's bad.
grumpy with us.
Okay. All right.
So, with that in mind, I've handed everyone 3 Decima cards.
Okay.
And so usually we're going to leave those face down, going to turn them over, and there are questions at the top and bottom. The one at the top will be right side up. Whichever way you turn it over, you're going to use the right side up question. And a fun, so this is how modular Decima is. It has these relationship questions, it has place questions and world questions. We're just going to pop out a few relationship questions to see what's going on with each other. And so since each of you have 3, you'll be able to have a relationship with each other player, right? And the fun thing that I want to do with this, which we can always use our invisible X card, and I support any and all safety tool. If you want to use an X card or fast forward or whatever, feel free to just communicate with me. That's definitely something we encourage here. Oh yeah, there is our actual X card. Thank you. I didn't see it. It was buried under papers. Or if you can't reach it, feel free to just make a sign with your arms or say, "Excuse me, X that."
Yeah. Or Jen, if you want to just do a backhand and smack
It's true.
Jason, that's okay too.
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very
Watch the
smackable.
mic. It's really-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has
Don't
a tattoo of
damage
an
the mic.
X inside his cheek, so you just
Yeah, that's
give
true.
him a good slap.
Just don't damage the microphone.
Or if
that's
you want to
all.
be a little bit more gentle, you just go
Yeah.
condescendingly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're there.
With
Yeah.
the little thumb cup.
Yeah.
Stop
yeah.
being
Yeah.
horribly insulting.
Yeah.
Or if you lick your finger and
Nope.
put it on his
Nope.
glasses real quick,
Very
that
cute.
helps too.
Shut up now. That kind of.
Just
Right,
don't
yeah.
awkwardly cup your.
No,
Yeah, that's
okay.
that's not.
Moving on.
Oh wait, watch. X.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
I
ladies
have
and gentlemen.
X-carded words out of my own mouth.
Yeah,
I've
that's-
said nope, never
Yeah.
mind, that
Yeah.
doesn't exist. That's
Sounded much
removed
better in
from
my
the
head.
game. So the little twist that I want to do on this is have you pick who is going to fill in the blank before you turn the card over. Right? So
That's
Adam,
fun.
you'll say, okay, this first card is for Pooja. Turn it over, and there we go. And again, the reason why I mentioned the X card is maybe it really doesn't feel right or it's not
Yeah.
good. You could flip the card around if you want to check the other way. But
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun just to try it.
Right,
And
yeah.
then it also might kind of speed us along a little bit.
Yeah.
So Adam, why don't you pick who you're aiming at and
Okay.
flip the card.
I'm gonna go with
What's that, Pooja?
I still didn't name the ship.
We still haven't
we,
named
we
the ship.
haven't
Oh.
set sail yet.
Oh, okay.
These are our background questions about how you feel about each
Yeah.
other.
Okay, cool.
Maybe it'll
cool.
come up in-
Sorry.
maybe it'll come
I
up
was
in-
I don't want the bad looks.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. We
you
have
want it in?
not set sail.
We already have
So-
dice. We don't need any other help.
Yeah. All right, this one's gonna be for Driftwood.
Okay.
Okay.
You and Driftwood blow off steam together. What do you do? Maybe fighting. Are you good
Yeah.
at fighting?
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. Maybe we just do dueling practice together.
Yeah.
And yeah. Just,
Like
swords? Do we do swords
Swords
as well?
is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, maybe we just clash swords for fun.
This whole image in my head, it's like something like weird Captain Hook Smee thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
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 Do you get
I
into
know
bar
it, Captain.
fights together?
Oh yeah, I bet so. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, I think I get into bar fights.
And I'm there to help.
Yes.
I'm wingmanning.
Yeah. I like that.
Hands off my captain.
Right. Yeah.
Strange how we always seem to find ourselves in an alliance-friendly bar come U Day.
Right? Isn't that weird?
Strange.
Wow, weird. Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
Well,
Okay. Pooja, do you want to pick a target?
This one's gonna be for Kara.
Okay.
You shared an epic failure with Kara, but it brought you closer.
Oh, that's sweet. These are our 2 undead orcs, right? Yeah, okay.
Half orc, but you know.
Oh, yeah, so I just say orc for everything.
Orcish.
I think maybe because you're engineer type, are you like an inventor type as well, or do you?
Probably in the spare time, yeah.
Yeah. That maybe there was like a device that you made
Sure.
that we were testing out together. Like
Yeah.
you had me like you were like field test this, please. Like a Q type situation.
What if it was a like auto ascender, like grapple hook kind of thing? Because that's useful for those of you who might fall in the water and just sink, and which is way more. It's just inconvenient, right? If you're at
It's annoying.
If
Yeah,
everybody
it's
has a
annoying.
grapple, then
right.
Yeah.
So the first wave of that experiment went very poorly. I think you were testing it out.
Yes.
What happened?
It was like it wasn't quite the very first test. Like we had tested obviously before the water, medium depths, but this was the first like deep dive kind of test. So I was down.
Yep.
I was real down in the water. Like I went to hit the Batman style grapple gun. And it turns out it only holds so much rope.
Yeah, I like that.
oh,
So good.
we should have seen something come up by now.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to breathe, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Dramatic tension's killing me.
Yeah. And you had to hike all the way back to the pier. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like coming behind us and we're all doing this.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
Coming
like
directly
the
to
fact that
seaweed.
like when I emerged, that Carol was there like waiting with like a like it's like
Owl?
okay, this may not have worked out, but look what I got you to make up for it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And it was like it was like an item that I had my eye on from somebody's
Oh.
from
Some like
from
magic
someone
shop
else.
or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Probably the way it went down was when we started the test. As soon as you went into the water, I was like, I forgot to add the extra rope. Okay, I know I've got
Whoopsie.
about an hour while she's walking to go get something.
I could get my whoopsie gift.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Had to say sorry.
Yep. Okay, I like that. Brian, choose a target.
I'm gonna choose Melia.
Melita?
Melita, sorry.
Melita.
Writing is very small. All right, here we go. Melita, you shared a deep desire with Melita. What made you trust them?
Oh. Deep Warforged desire.
That's alien.
If I only had a brain.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I was already there.
I think desire is. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. What I learned
You have
from
to think about
Melita.
what your character wants.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he knows.
It's amazing what this game helps you do.
Yeah.
Is that maybe what he wants? Is that he wants a direction? He wants to know what he wants?
Well, I think Melita really has it dialed in. Like, really understands like how people talk because it's the whole infiltrator thing, and I don't. And so it's like, why do those two people hate each other?
Yeah. Like you want to want things.
Yeah,
Is that
and
your
I want to
desire?
want things,
Yeah.
and it's like, and I want to understand why people, how they talk to each other, and like you're always like, oh yeah, those two people are, look, they hate each other. I'm like, well, why? Why do they do that? Yeah, and because, and I trust you because you know things, so automatically I'm like, well, obviously she's totally trustworthy. Like, you don't lie.
All right. Cool.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Over to you.
I think you're completely trustworthy and never lie.
All right. Jen, who would you like to aim at?
I think I'm just going to go straight down the line and start with our captain.
Okay.
You tried to impress Ander and succeeded. What did you do to impress them? Ooh, well, I did build your ship.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I bet there was probably either a testing phase or an early mission where I really wanted to do something that the ship was not designed to do.
Probably you had a bunch of design engineers telling you, no, you can't do
Right?
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm
Like no, we can totally drift. We can totally can.
yeah.
And yeah, and you were like the one person who was
Usually
like,
works, sure.
I built this. I can make this
design
happen.
it,
Yeah.
It'll work.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
I like that.
Awesome.
Jen, let's have you do another one.
Okay.
Wait, who are we aiming at?
yeah.
Okay. Wait, aiming at
I
Drve?
was going down the line.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you,
right,
you
right,
did.
right.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Melita.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have have a strong connection with Melita, and it goes stronger every day. Why?
Ooh,
Well, we are the undead on the ship.
that's true. And probably your crew members are undead as well, but yeah.
They have
We're the
names?
important ones.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
They're in the credits.
You're the on-screen undead.
Yeah, they're on the credits. Yeah.
There's things that when you're undead, you just can't talk about with the living.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, and,
Undead problems.
Yeah.
Hashtag undead problems.
and Fuji did bring this up. So Driftwood is a he/him.
Okay.
thing.
Oh, yeah. Let's establish that real quick. Kara's pronouns.
She, her.
Okay. And Driftwood is
He/him.
And Melita,
She, her.
she, her, and Onder.
He, him.
Okay. Great. Thank you for mentioning that. Brian, who do you want to target next?
I think I'm going to go with Ander.
Okay.
And I hope this works. I sort of have an idea how I want. So hopefully this card will support that.
By the way, I was saying Under, but I like Ander better now.
Oh,
that
okay.
I've heard
Ander.
Ander.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go with Ander. Okay.
Okay, this work. You think you can learn a thing or two from Ander, and what do you want to learn? So I had this. I was thinking. If you're down with this,
Uh-huh.
I was really thinking of this whole Captain Hook Smee thing. He's my captain.
Yeah.
Because Warforged tend to be very even as broken as Drift is, he can be very military minded, structure and hierarchy. And even though he's really broken, he's kind of gravitating back to that. And so this is my captain. I support my captain. He's that guy on the
so
ship.
this underlying programming stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I look to Ander for where what is my place.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah.
And not that you use me as a convenient shield in a bar fight, but that's just part of the job.
I mean, I
Yeah.
do, but I also
For friendship.
Yeah.
He's my
It's-
friend.
It's because it's fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Could you?
Exactly.
Okay. So this one will be with Driftwood.
Yeah.
You did something to help Driftwood get ahead. What did you do?
Oh, cool.
I kind of feel like this one builds on the you asking me to teach you how to understand people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just kind of reflect that back a little bit of your you willingly engage in that activity,
Yes.
right? Okay, let me tell you about how to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like cool. I like to think that on lazy Sunday afternoons we go out to the park and I teach you social cues.
Oh yeah.
I get them wrong.
Yeah.
Man,
That's fun.
Yeah.
it's hard to write new code.
Do you Driftwood have some limited facial expression of pieces?
Yeah, I
that,
think pieces move. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's. I mean, if you've seen pictures of Warforged, they have a very really golem woody robotic face, but there is
Sure.
some movement.
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, it varies from
Iron
Warforged
Giant.
to Warforged.
It's like
yeah.
Iron Giant,
yeah.
but I'm not that big because the guy has a front of the boat.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. That's good.
It's like my head. That's all about it.
Adam.
Okay.
Who's next?
Okay. This will be for Melita.
Oh, and by the way, if for anyone wondering, we'll take a 5-minute break when we're done with our relationship stuff because
Yeah.
it's
You
early.
need to
and-
plan the game.
Yeah, or if anyone
Yeah.
needs to go to the bathroom or whatever, that's just kind of built into the con game. So
Yeah. Okay, so for Melita, it says you knew blank, but my mind sort of merged the other card that I had, which has you in blank blow off Steam, and I literally read this and said you blew blank before. What?
well,
Oh,
Deck of the
that's-
Knights. Deck of the Knights.
we were just
like-
talking about that expansion.
Yeah, Stretch
That's
Goal
right.
coming to the
Ooh,
Kickstarter.
Yeah. Like that is not wait. Oh, wait. Okay, you knew Melita before coming to our location, Brian, and were jealous of them. Why?
Maybe you knew because she was there when you left,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
came back. Does that make sense for that? Because you came from Sharn originally. You weren't even
Yeah.
supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So you were there, you
Yeah.
knew her before the undeadening, and then you had left before that, and then when you came back, she
Yes.
was now deadened.
Yeah. And now, oh, you know what I think it was, if this works for you, because I was here my whole life and a complete outcast, and I left for a while, and then I knew you then, and you were like a stranger who had come into town, and were already more more popular and more accepted than I was. And then I leave and I come back and now you're undead like everybody I've known my whole life.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm the outsider again. Now that I'm like cool and back and like
And a
confident
badass
and a
and-
badass, and I come back and I'm an outcast again because I'm not undead and you are again. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
like we met in Sharn when you like left Brine.
yeah.
And you're like, man,
Yeah.
like, we were like whatever, not cool necessarily.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I go
Right.
to Brine, I get undead, and you come back and you're like,
What
You're like,
the
I
hell?
went out
Like,
to get cool, came back,
back.
I'm still not cool.
still not cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I could help you. I don't know what it's like to be the outsider. So
Yeah.
it's weird.
I love it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Right?
All right, Adam, let's
Nice, okay.
do your last card as well.
Okay, so this one will be for Kara.
All right.
All right. It's obvious that Kara has dealt with something serious that you don't understand.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, there was the deadening,
There was the deadening, yeah.
which ultimately was a net positive for you.
Yeah, it worked out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe it has to do with because you're older and you're a little wiser, maybe.
It could be.
Like, yeah.
I had kids and I had family. So if you had troubled relationships with your family, it's,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Does this work for you? Do you maybe have half-orc children? Because you're full orc, right?
full orc.
So do you maybe have half-orc children and you were accepting of them in a way that my parents and family were not of me?
It's not your grandma. No, that'd be weird.
That would be really cool, but
Cool and weird,
yeah,
yeah.
cool, but yeah, I think it's better if,
Yeah.
like, I see you now and you are cool towards your half-orc kids, and
Hey,
my
we're
family
wonderful
was
the
not.
kids today.
Yeah,
It
like
was
you
great.
talk about
Right.
them, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I think maybe you have that understanding of like that interspecies family that I wanted and didn't get.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, just as
Ooh, I
a
like
follow
that.
up, like, so your kids are cool with the whole redeadening, undeadening. This is probably a term.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, yeah, it's all great. You're back. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's neat.
We have a positive family relationship.
Yeah.
especially
And what
if
are
they're
kids
all
again?
undead.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
All right.
How does that
Okay,
happen?
Pooja.
Cool.
Explain
Who's
to
this
me.
for?
This one is going to be for Aner.
Okay.
Blank makes you think of things in a way you never have before.
Oh.
Like how sexy I am.
I was gonna say abs.
I've never
So
really
many.
thought about the number of abs someone has.
How many is too many?
And how important that is.
I think that I actually like, for as much as I have had to like be invisible, fit in, make sure people like me in order to get things from them, that your desire to actually have connections with people and like be accepted and loved
Uh-huh.
is new.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, neat.
It's like, oh, you actually you form real
Yeah.
connections with people. You're not just like reading social cues in order to find out what their passwords are to
Yeah.
get into their combination safe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the connections I forge, I want them. That I desire those. It's a need to feel like I'm a part of someone else's life and that I understand them. So I get to know them and I learn about them because I'm actually genuinely interested in them and not for what they can do for me.
For you or to you.
I mean,
You said what you said.
yeah.
You just, I would stand by
You
that.
heard me.
I had
Yeah.
spoken.
Yeah,
It is the way.
this is the way. Yeah,
All right.
I like that. Yeah,
Cool.
it's
Cool.
cool.
All right. Driftwood.
So this is for Kara. You find yourself frustrated with Kara. Why?
Oh, interesting. Some conflict for the Warforged.
And if you're down with this, I think it's because I think Driftwood is part of his damage is he's really forgetful. Like people teach him things and then he kind of forgets what they are.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like what's an ice cream again? You know, he doesn't
Yeah.
remember. And you really want to fix it.
Yes.
And he's sort of he's kind of okay with how he feels like he's kind of okay with how he is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're like, why can't you just fix it? He's like, well, why? There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, she as a tinkerer, she'd constantly be like,
Can I just do that? Just do what?
Oh yeah, I have an idea for the. Oh.
And I think part of it is that Ander has really been like, you're good the way you are, man. You're fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he says I'm fine. It's all good.
You're enough.
Yeah.
You cry now.
I know.
Sorry,
Oh, that's really
feels.
sweet.
There's a lot of like Iron Giant feels in that.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
love it. Okay, great. Who's this for?
this is for Driftwood.
Okay.
Oh, that's not going to work. When you need advice, you always
Oh yeah. What's the
see
inverse
what
say?
the other side says. When they need advice, blank always comes to you.
That. Well, it seems like
Yeah,
you're.
guys, it seems like I would more go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a fresh one.
Yeah.
Driftwood makes you wonder what life would be like if you had chosen a different path.
Oh. I mean, he's not undead.
He's not undead.
And I'm apparently a functional moron. So you had gone down the route of not being smart. This is really where you could have gone. Think of all you've missed.
I think when the wars happened and when the Warforged were created, I had an opportunity to go into weapons development.
Oh, yeah.
And I did not.
Okay.
But having him on the ship makes me think about, gosh, I could have done that. I could have done that better.
Yep.
Would we not be having, defective units like this floating around
Right.
now if I had done the engineering?
We have a defective unit? We should get
Don't
that
worry
fixed.
about it.
We should get that
Yeah.
fixed.
I like that.
There are no effective units.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, it's
Okay.
weird.
All right.
She said
so
effective.
the last couple
we have a
things
couple of those.
I want to look at are your your predator ship. Just to go over this, your nemesis and feud. Do we want the nemesis to be like outside like guild folks who don't think you should be in the guild? Do we want like freebooter pirates? Do we want Sagwin pirate like fish people pirates? Is probably not somebody from the town of Brine. Something else I haven't thought of.
Well, you're talking about in the beginning, like sort of the kind of the couple paths we could go. I mean, it feels like we're much more the infiltratory, smuggly route. I mean, are we trying to reopen the guild thing? Is that like what's our goal? Maybe that would kind of tell us who our nemesis are.
Are we just sort of thinking about one mission or that we're going to start with, or should we be looking at this in terms of like a whole overall story?
Yeah, let's look at the big picture. We'll see how much we can do after the break. But yeah,
And we're going to be every 2 weeks, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
It's going to move a lot more quickly than a regular D&D one shot. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of options.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of reestablishing trade of some sort.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. You guys are doing a podcast?
Uh-huh.
Great. We're doing a world premiere of a brand new card game. It's comic book themed.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to be in the Carmel room between 1 and 3.
Okay.
So if you could, we'd love if you guys could mention us.
Oh, yeah, we're live streaming right now.
Yeah.
So that's, what's the name of it again?
Oh, it's called Herd'em, brand new card game.
HURTEM. And where can folks check that out?
biffgames.com.
BIFF games.com.
biffgames.com.
Okay, great. Yeah, so
Thanks.
we'll go check that out later. Thanks.
Yep.
Cool. That's the fun part of doing this live at the con is
Right,
like,
yeah.
because if you're listening at home and you don't realize, like, we have a little section for audience folks, and so people come in and out to check out what we're doing and give us weird looks and pick up equipment and disappear
Fall
through the wall.
asleep.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the whole Stu Ghost thing.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
But we don't have an audience right now because it's early Sunday
How
morning.
dare you? The seats are full. Everyone is being very respectful and quiet. We have 30 people.
Hear
in the
them?
room
Do you hear
here.
Wow.
That's why would you say we don't have an audience? That's an insult to everyone in this room.
Sorry,
really
I'm
good timing.
reversed. I'm only seeing corporeal ghosts, and I'm not
Well, the
seeing...
lights are in your
I
eyes.
don't see live
Yeah,
people.
the-
I mean,
I don't see live people, yeah.
all the lights are in your eyes. So-
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you you're a metal forged, and you basically got a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
And that's why. But you called yourself a functional moron, which kind of isn't.
Oh,
Well, no,
let's walk that back.
Yeah, I'm
little
gonna
bit.
walk it back because that was
thank you
more
for-
out of character, sort of. Because I think other people would think that he is really dumb because he's like doesn't get it. I mean,
Right.
he is broken and he does forget things, but he's potentially just as smart as everybody else, if not
Yeah.
smarter in a lot of different ways.
Right.
Warforged are constructed to be
Yeah.
mages and generals and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I think we just want to establish sort of out of game that the language of referring to someone with a traumatic brain
Right,
injury
which is
more
not-
as like
yeah.
Yeah.
not something.
And
that
it's
we
funny
wanna
because
use,
I didn't.
so-
Yeah.
It's funny because I didn't think of it as a traumatic brain injury so much as like programming error, which is interesting.
kind of the same thing from
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, a human.
From
Yeah.
Right.
the Warforged.
And he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Carr is he doesn't feel like he's broken, and I don't think he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because maybe he would even have a different personality if he didn't have this big head gashy thing, and he probably wouldn't like the guy who'd been killing all those people for 100 years.
But thank you
Yeah.
for bringing
Yeah,
up
that's-
the
yeah.
language
Yeah.
usage. That's an important distinction to make. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's roll that back.
appreciate that. Okay, so last couple things on the ship sheet. There's another copy over there. But
Can we name it now?
we need to name it. We also need to pick what your upgrades are. You have 2 upgrade points. The ones that cost 1, well, all of these are either 1 or 3, so you can't have any of the 3s. But we could have 2 of, like, 1 of each of 2 other things. So, targeting computer, autodoc surgery, armored vehicle, overcharge, shielding, mounted turrets, and there's all the fantasy things to do here, right? Lasers, missiles, plasma cannon,
Only what
and
you see on the
emergency
shelf.
overrides. So those are the things that are possible.
Well, if we're sort of designed as like a smuggler, stealthy sort of
Brendan,
thing.
there's a copy here
Oh,
if that's
okay.
helpful.
I mean, we sort of have the idea of redundant systems in terms of like we can operate on land, sea, or air.
That's true.
There's
Yeah.
3 upgrades though.
So
Well, yeah, we can't have that
Oh,
one
that's
anyway.
oh,
so.
you have to use 3 of the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have 2 points, and everything costs either 1 or 3. So you
Oh,
could
gotcha,
have
okay.
2 of the ones.
Well, we probably should have some sort of weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the overcharge and the idea of maybe like when we really need it to. We have some gems from
Karazosh.
and if we bribe our Earth Elemental,
Oh.
they can basically like sling rocks.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
pull up rocks from the seafloor and like sling them as like
We know that's not really good for it. I mean,
Right,
It's,
yeah,
It's a sometimes food.
yeah,
Yeah,
really-
it's
yeah.
like candy. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Candy gems all
like
the time.
here, have some go-go juice.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and
Like
then
the gummy bears.
right. And then when we do that, it's like
Yeah.
not good for it. We really can't do it very often, but
Yeah.
but when we do, they can just kind of sling up a bunch of rocks from the ocean and just like
Yeah, I think that fits the spirit of Overdrive.
Yeah.
What about something else?
Do we want a more? Is that our only offensive thing, or do we want like a?
Well, overcharge allows us to fire our weapons more rapidly. It makes sense to me that like we would pair that with like
A weapon?
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're not doing anything more rapidly.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a lasers option, so we don't have to take on board all the ammunition. Like you have some sort of
Lightning gun
mega
or-
wand, yeah,
yeah.
lightning weapon, something like that. That is, it could also do radiant damage or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
What if we have an Earth Elemental? He could create like
Yeah.
ballista or like
Yeah.
catapult.
Oh, that's true.
Ammunition.
Yeah, if we want to have that kind of ammunition, yeah, we
Yeah.
absolutely could have like stone ammunition.
Right? Yeah. Whenever we need, they just regularly pull up
Yeah.
normal size
So-
rocks.
So if you'd rather
that we
use
can
the missiles
for, like,
option or
yeah.
the mounted turret, we could definitely turn that into that sort of thing. Yeah, it's really up to you all which one you. It sounds
Like
the
a
best.
missile seems like more like a catapulty sort of a.
Yeah. Though I do like the idea of a mounted turret, and it's like a little mini, like
rotating sort of.
like little mini what are those things called with the
Like a bombard.
it's like you put your hands on it and the little archy things.
Oh
come out
yeah,
so
yeah,
they're-
the little globe thing.
Oh, the plasma ball.
Yeah.
The plasma ball. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what they call them. Yeah.
I love those
So,
things.
Right, yeah.
so we kind of have like one of those, and but like I guess about, you know,
Sure.
like,
I mean, the concept of the mounted turret is that somebody is operating it, right? Like a human or a person
Right.
is
Yeah.
operating it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I like the image of it sort of like in the front, like it's this big like glowy ball thing.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go with the emergency overcharge.
Overcharge and turret.
Overcharge and mounted turret. Okay. Great. I'm gonna steal this.
Yep.
And the last thing we need to do is name our ship.
Liz 27.
That sounds like bad luck name.
That's a bad luck name.
Let's see. I was thinking like something sort of like coastal predator related.
Sure.
Like so I was thinking like the reef shark or the mako, or even like the sea raven, like an aerial, you know,
Like
because that's a
the,
bird, like a sea
the
eagle.
jellyfish?
It's, or a jellyfish. Yeah, the
because you don't see it until it sticks you.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and it stings. Yeah,
And really, nobody expects to be attacked by the jellyfish.
that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the first.
I can't. Yeah. No, I like that because it is.
It seems innocuous. Like,
It's a
oh,
verse-
it's a
yeah,
jellyfish, you know.
right. Yeah.
Jen, what do you think for ship name?
I'm terrible at names.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I won't put you on the spot.
So we should call it Jen.
Yes. It's the Jen. Yeah.
It could also have something to do with gems. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ, Adam.
Nothing happened. You're
Adam
fine.
almost knocked over the microphone that is looming over their heads.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We're all fine here. How are you?
Yeah.
Are
So
you saying we should call ourselves the holograms?
no, but like
Different game.
Karazosh is famous for its gems, particularly its emeralds, but they have all kinds of
The
stuff.
emerald jellyfish.
Also, Brine being a port city, and you're like the sort of not defenders of the port city, but you're the mascot, the you're going out to raise the profile of
Yeah.
Brine. So it could also be the something of Brine or the Brine.
But the salty jelly?
The brash jellyfish.
No, I don't. That was not a serious suggestion.
I'm not accepting it, so that's fine.
Good. Okay.
So yeah, I mean the jellyfish is fine. I just wanted to put out lots of
Yeah.
options to think about.
I'm wondering if there's like a really good jellyfish species
Oh, like
or
a species.
type.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea. Yeah. I wonder.
It's sort of hard to keep the mood going if you're like, quick, run to the jelly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to have something a little bit.
Yeah. Like
You're just jelly about jelly.
See?
I don't think you're
Really,
ready for this jelly.
Hmm.
You will
Yeah.
surrender to jelly.
Internet doesn't work in the
Oh,
hotel.
mine does.
Okay.
I was about to say I cut that.
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
So.
Can't hear anything come up.
Jellyfish. Species. Oh, let's see. There's a moon jelly, a lion's mane, a Portuguese man o' war.
That's it. Two on the nose.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's an immortal jellyfish, a cannonball jellyfish.
Ooh.
This is good.
Chironex, which is just kind of a cool name.
Yep,
Ooh.
that's true.
Chironex.
A Latina alata.
Okay. What? Does anything sound good?
I think that Chironex sounds really cool.
How do you spell that?
Oh no, I have to scroll back over to it. Chironex.
Oh, okay.
Chiron X. Okay.
Chironex.
Pretty much how you thought of it.
It's pretty good. It's a type
I
of
like
jellyfish.
words that don't try to trick me with extra
Sure.
vowels.
All right.
No Welsh.
Too many consonants. There's too many
There
consonants.
are too many consonants.
Yeah. It's just
They got-
cheating
they got-
at Scrabble.
They got all of everyone's extra
Yeah.
consonants.
Yeah.
There's one called the blue button.
There it is.
Nice. I like when that too many consonants is like it's like when River sees Shepherd Book's hair.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like that's how I feel like when I see Welsh words. I'm like, too much consonants.
And you go hide under your bed.
Right? Yeah. Can't hold that up. Yeah, yeah.
So do
yeah,
we
the
want to go
Chiron
with
X
Chiron
sounds
X?
really cool,
All right,
actually.
let's
Yeah,
Chiron X of Brine.
yeah.
Okay.
This-
Great, I like that. So maybe it's a feature of this side of the island that is well, you can hang on to those cards for now in case you forget what questions you answered. The kind of a feature of the island of Welldown, or at least the west coast of Welldown, is it's wild with jellyfish for some reason. Like there's just a lot of jellyfish out here, and now you all can harvest it. Well, the undead folks in your town can harvest it without much trouble,
Right.
Because they sting and they're like, stop that, and put it back in back in the basket.
yeah.
It puts the fish inside the basket.
Yes,
Gets
exactly.
the hose again.
So, all right, that's good. Then we just established something new about the town of Brine too, so that's fun. They fish up dangerous things that the rest of the world would like to have.
It's really it's a rare export delicacy.
Yeah, because it's hard to pull up, and y'all could make a lot of money exporting this.
Yeah.
Thriving jellyfish farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ruling family in Karazosh would like to have jellyfish for dinner as well. So
Right.
this is good. Okay, cool. That's a fun aspect of that.
Do the undead? Is it the whole need to eat flesh thing?
No.
Or is that-
They're just sustained by magic, and
Well, maybe there's one type of jellyfish that they can actually taste.
like it's spicy.
Yeah, it's spicy. They're like, yeah, I like this one.
Does anybody watch iZombie?
Yeah, it's like the spicy.
I
is
think
like,
that's pretty fun. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, I like that. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, so we have Ander, the
idea people
scoundrel, hot half orc. We have Melita, the infiltrator, undead half orc, good at stealing things. Yeah. The banged up warforged called Driftwood is our outsider.
learning
playbook.
about life.
And Kara, our intellectual undead orc engineer and scientist. That's great. All aboard the predator ship, the Chiron X, setting out to right some wrongs. It sounds like we're gonna aim at the guilds initially. Was that the?
Yeah. And you get trading.
Or is that we can decide when we come back from the break.
Yeah.
So, folks, hang with us. I'm going to keep the stream going. I'm just going to put us on mute. And
Little good, little bad, little both.
And we will be back in 5-ish minutes, 5 show minutes. And
5 minutes.
we'll see you soon.
Hey.
Thank you for bringing that up.
and welcome back.
Hey.
We are playing Impulse Drive, a really great sci-fi, like small crew spaceship set game, PBTA rule set with some really cool modifications to it. Set in the world of Eberron, and we're gonna listen to ourselves talk through our own phones.
Apparently, if my phone's muted, it still plays.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, who knew? Technology, huh?
The setting of Eberron is normally a D&D setting, Dungeons and Dragons, if you're not familiar with it. It's a little game that came out of a company called Wizards of the Coast.
Weird.
Yeah,
Never heard of them.
Anyway, I should also say we're not entirely doing Eberron or Impulse Drive full justice because we've got just a few hours to play together.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, we made teacher voice come out.
It's okay. He'll wait.
Impulse Drive has some really cool like full campaign stuff. Like the relationship questions built into Impulse Drive are really cool, but they shine in like a full campaign mode. So we're not using those. We're using the Decima questions, which can be one shot or campaign questions. So
I want to ask this as a legit, genuine interest, not like a plug thing, although I'll probably make it sound like a plug. But is this game out, Impulse Drive? Is
Yes.
this a game that you can, like,
yes,
there's a book and
yes,
everything?
I own the PDF. I think I'm going to buy a hard copy.
Looking at this, I really want to own a hard copy of
I
it.
know,
I
me
want to
too.
own this
Yeah.
game. So just looking at the playbooks, and I'm like, yeah, please. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I think
Click
it's
the link
really
below
well
to instantly
designed,
buy it, right?
and it
Yeah.
captures everything that I really like about small crew spaceship stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's a great Star Trek game, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have enough woo-woo nonsense to be Star Wars.
Well, I don't want to speak for Adam, but I think all Star Trek games are good Star Trek games. I mean,
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
yeah.
If you're playing Star Trek, you're doing something, right?
It's like saying bad pizza. That's not a
Right,
thing.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So says someone who has not had the majority of gluten-free pizzas.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay, so I just wanted to give that as a little disclaimer for our improper use of Impulse Drive today. The good thing about Eberron is Keith Baker, the original author himself, is always saying like there's literally no wrong way to run Eberron, and has resisted giving an answer to what caused the Morlan's explosion.
Yeah.
You know, that thing that ended the war. He's never answered the question definitively.
Yeah.
I've actually seen him at con. Someone will run up and ask him, and he'll just laugh and walk away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's his
I love it.
favorite question. I'm so surprised he's not irritated at getting the question by
Yeah.
now. But he's just the nicest, most affable person
Yeah,
you'll
he
ever
really
meet.
is.
So
Yeah.
His answer to even how to pronounce that land is ineffable. Like
Yeah.
he's like, it's kind of like New Orleans, like the
Yeah.
people who lived there called it something different. So.
Hello.
hi there.
Are you online?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
you're welcome
he's
to
streaming.
come in
Yeah.
and join us if you like. Or there's no commitment to stay either.
Anna Meyer, cartographer extraordinaire, just entered the room.
Ooh, fantastic! Yes,
I didn't mean to crash your
That's what we have audience seats
Yes.
for this very purpose.
huge audience.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we've maintained
But you
that
have a million
illusion.
people out there. that-
Yes, we now have 31 audience members.
Yeah.
Folks listening in.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us. And actually, I've heard of your maps before. Can you tell us where folks could find your like map resources?
AnnaBmeyer.com.
AnnaBmeyer.com.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's MEYER.
Yep. So, if you haven't seen her maps, they're incredible, and you should check them out. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm sort of like fanboying out a little bit, right? Okay,
You
this
are
is
welcome.
fine. Everything's fine.
Be cool. Be cool.
Be cool, Jason. Be cool.
I'm not cool.
Act like you've been there before.
I'm just not cool. I accept this about myself, so it's fine. So anyway, we're playing Impulse Drive in Eberron, which makes as much sense as anything we do as adults sitting around a table playing
Fair.
pretend together.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
here we are. The four of you have set sail on the Chironex, the ship sailing out of Brine. You're sailing in the air because it's much faster than moving through the water. If
Yes.
you don't have to move through the water, that's good. and the mainland would be probably a couple days by airship, is about that far away, and it would be several days, if not a week, by water. Just because you never know, like tides could shift, or you've got you see a pirate on the horizon, and you got to go around the other way, and people know, like pirates know what the main shipping lanes would be through here, and so they're watched, right? They hunt those lanes and want to find people all the time. So it sounded like did we decide on a primary focus? I don't think we had 100% decided before we went to break.
But I think we were headed to Sharn.
Yeah.
We kind of settled on that, right?
Yeah.
Trade guilds.
Trade guilds
trade
and
guilds,
reestablish trade. And
Yeah. We want to.
We
Yeah.
didn't establish or I don't remember if we established our nemesis.
We did not confirm our nemesis. Yeah.
Right.
And I would think part of our goal to going with Sharn is basically like, look, Brian has an airship now, so check it out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a show of power. It's a show
Yeah.
of, hey, we're gonna keep the shipping lanes open. Or not.
We're a going
necessar-
concern
Yeah,
now.
not necessarily power, but it's a show of
Yeah.
yeah.
We're a player.
We're a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to look up the Dragon Mark houses. There's one that's focused on like travel and shipping.
Orion.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
normally I'm not that into Eberron, but that was like the one Eberron campaign I played so far.
Right.
That was my.
And Leandir's the half elf one with the Mark of Stars.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah. So it's
ORIEN.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure chat room might correct me, but
Okay.
yeah. That's what IO was.
Okay,
Was
cool.
House Orion.
So I think that like someone from House Orion is the nemesis. All right,
Okay.
because they want to maintain their hold on shipping, or at least have you join. And you have been somewhat supported. Like the reason why you think you could just show up to Sharn is just like somebody is stumping for you. And I think there are several half-orcs from the House Thrask. Thrask. There's no extra SH in there. Thrask is the House of Finding, or they have the Mark of Finding. They're only orcs and half-orcs are born with the Mark of Finding. And so that is a big component of that house. Not everybody who works for the house is an orc or half-orc, but the primary finders and seekers. So they're often picked up when you need to get a private investigator. There often might be House Thrask or Thrask. Oh well, Thrask. Thoracic. House Thoracic.
Oh.
No. But yeah, House Thrask is has at least gotten word to Brian that this is your opportunity. Like we'll go to bat for you. Unfortunately, House Thrask is like the least reputable, not least reputable, the least liked house, right? Like people trust them and will hire them, but the majority of people aren't super down with orcs and half-orcs, and so that's the sort of gross reality of like going to interface with the guilds, right?
Yeah.
And so House Thrask is also betting on like, hey, this is going to raise our profile. Also, our long lost cousins on Well Down. Like, hey, let's make contact and like figure out what's next, right? So that's the kind of competing sides. Is let's say Guild Minister Lemos from House Orion. Is particularly that's the one name that's drifted down to Well Down about House Orion as like the person who's kind of spiking your wheel.
What's his name? Guild Minister?
Lemos, Lemos. And we don't know what his first name is, but that's the one kind of clue you've gotten is Minister Lemos.
I've been guessing.
And
None of them are right.
and
We just keep like
Yeah.
listing off names.
Barry-
yeah. and
Barry
we're,
Lemos.
Like nobody. We don't know.
And-
But it could be Chip.
It could be. Yeah.
Seeker.
Possibly.
Where did it go? I had a good name here. Seeker Samira is a major leader in House Thrask, but not like the leader. She's kind of gone out on a limb of like, I'm going to make my career by bringing Brian into the fold, and they're going to be a House Thrask city, right?
Yeah.
Like lots of cities have like the houses sort of
like enclaves.
Yeah. They vie for like who's in charge of the city or who has the most influence or power, and Welldown doesn't have a lot of influence because there hasn't been a lot of shipping and trade from the mainland, and so they're kind of like the new kid on the block to try to get them in your club.
Yeah.
And you're popular because you're rich. So that's everyone wants to be your friend.
That's how friendship works.
Yeah.
You're rich, and then you get friends. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, that's
The
bad.
captain must be really rich. He has lots of friends. He's got us, and it's cool.
Yes, several people.
Several. That's like I only have like three fingers on each hand, so that's like more. Yeah, that's as many as I can count.
True riches are the friends we make along the way.
Oh, God.
Captain's so
The
wise.
treasure was inside us all along.
Right? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Because we swallowed
I
it.
coughed up several gold coins to prove it.
Drift is like. I mean, I could open it and then later.
I mean, the fact that you shouldn't just advertise the fact that we store stuff in here.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's
Most people
slightly
aren't
refrigerated, so I mean, if you need a cold drink or something. It's
I
like,
got
Snacks.
to play a Warforged bard one time that had installed a harp in his chest, and would just like pull that open and like pluck the harp, and then
like an organ.
creepy at all.
Like
No.
it has the organ pipes coming off of his back.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell me you
that'd
made
be
lots of
amazing.
harp strings. Too.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was the whole joke, and it got a little tired after a while.
Ever.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was pretty proud of myself for that. So anyway, the you and your other 3 crew members, your red shirts, are off into the blue sky. It's a beautiful day for sailing, and you're about a day into your journey, so nearly halfway to Sharn, and you spot a ship on the 2 ships on the horizon, clearly like firing cannons and lightning bolts, and like you could see them fighting, but they're off course, right? Like you could just carry on and not worry about what it is. But you can see it is one of the ships is a ship of is it Breland, where Sharn is. So Breland is like the country that Sharn is in. Sharn could almost exist by itself as a city-state, but is essentially part of Breland. And you could see this ship has like Breland government flags, and the other ship has markings that it's probably Sahuagin because it has these like. Do any of you speak the fish people language, Sahuagin?
I might speak a little of it.
Or
because of my-
primordial, because they
yeah.
also speak like elemental language. So most, and they speak common mostly, but the symbols on this flag would be more clear if you.
I can speak underwater, and I have spoken to the elemental, so maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Willing to
Makes
try.
sense.
Yeah.
I feel like I have some like conversational Sahuagin.
Oh, sure.
From my time
That
as
would-
a pirate.
Oh,
Like,
and,
that would be
and
better.
the ability to recognize. Okay,
That'd
be
let's have you roll the.
It's gonna be much more effective than
Oh,
I
basic
was.
moves. Let's do
scope it out.
Love
yeah,
this character
that's
so
the one.
much.
Okay. So that's rolling with calculating.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
That's straight roll. I don't really have that.
Straight-ish.
Straight-ish. Yeah. Oh, hey, 9.
Okay, so you get one question off this list.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Let's see.
And I should say, it is clear that it is unclear who's winning, right?
Okay.
That is solid information. It's not that you don't know. It's that you're, through the telescope. No.
Yeah.
What's it called? It's not a telescope.
Spyglass.
Yeah, spyglass, but it has a word. Oh well,
Yeah.
no one knows.
Yeah. No one knows.
I'll go to the library and look it up in the encyclopedia later.
Yes.
Oh no, thank you.
Let's see.
Wait, you're saying it's like a spyglass, but it has a...
Yeah, there's like a word like telescope that is for a
monoscope?
spyglass. No. I guess we'll just go with spyglass.
Telemonoscope.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this no. What should I be on the lookout for?
Okay.
Considering my goal is not necessarily avoiding combat, my goal is to improve our, to improve Brian's station.
Okay.
So if intervening in this could help in some way,
Sure.
no.
The Sogwin ship's flags, first of all, look like the ones belonging to a pretty prominent, pirate family. Not like there are a few different Sogwin pirate groups.
Yeah.
And this in particular is like a husband and husband crew and their kids, and then like the people they've gathered around that sort of family group, and so. But they're also ruthless murderers, so like,
yeah,
and known to like make a show. Like they don't really eat other humanoids, but they'll like try to scare people. Because they look kind of like they got big sharp teeth and whatever. However, you see them fighting. It looks like a pretty even fight. The thing you should be aware of is that it looks like there's something big and dark moving from behind the Sogwin ship that the Breland ship definitely wouldn't be able to see. There's a big dark shape moving under the waves, coming under the Sogwin ship.
Yeah.
Eventually, I mean, it's not moving light speed, but it's moving pretty fast, and that's the thing you should be aware of. You can't really see much about it, but
so just for reference, because I feel a need to establish this.
Yes.
So I'm up on the upper steering deck. I think I've been at the wheel. The wind has blown my shirt open, exposing the rippling muscles of my slightly iridescent green skin.
Glad to have it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
My braids blowing behind me. Yeah. So as the sea spray has plastered my white open shirt to my arms, so you can see every bit of muscle, even in the parts that are covered. So I just want to...
Because it's translucent now.
Exactly, yeah.
And the thing that popped into my head was just off camera, Drve has a spray bottle and a big fan.
Yeah. Yes.
I think let's I'm gonna X that.
Yeah, that's right. That's fair. That's fair.
But I do like the image of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's how the movie would be made.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm probably behind you, in the manning something I handed you the spyglass.
Yeah. You're up there with me. Yeah.
Cool.
Waiting to be told what to do.
Yeah. Or maybe you're steering while I'm looking
I'm
out.
holding
And but I call out to Kara and ask Kara to come up. I just kind of yell down for you, Kara, come up on deck. Take a look at this.
Hop up the ladder.
So,
What?
So I show you the situation, and I say I think we need to warn the Breland ship, but do you think we could take them tactically? What's our chance here?
I like it.
Good.
Can I borrow the glass?
Yes. Yeah.
So if I take a look, how does the battle look?
As it is, the battle between the Breland and the Sogwin ship, if that was it honestly looks like a coin toss, right? Like, the Breland ship is a little bit better. It has, newer equipment and, trained soldiers, and the Sogwin ship has just the ferocious tenacity of pirates who are willing to do what it takes to win. And there's fewer of them. It's a slightly smaller ship, but they're just, ferocious, I think is the right word. And so they look pretty evenly matched. It'd be hard to tell who's going to come out on top. But again, that big dark shape that's coming from behind the Sogwin ship is going to eventually go under it and either come up under or behind the Breland ship. So, if you wanted to, you might know more about what's under the waves. If you wanted to roll your calculating to scope it out.
That is a 9.
Okay. So you get a question off of Scope It Out, unless you have a like calculating move or something on your
I
playbook.
don't think that's applicable to this.
Okay.
There's the share expertise move.
Oh yeah.
When you consult your accumulated knowledge on something you're an expert in, roll with calculating, and ask a question related to topic. So it's kind of like it's sort of like saying like, rather than what's going on here, it's more like I know about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let's
yeah,
use the
that's
share
That's really
expertise.
cool. Ooh.
So then my question would be,
So how's it different
what
than
is it that's under the water?
It's definitely
So this is like-
this is a tactic that we thought was a rumor,
okay.
and you haven't even seen this used,
Uh-huh.
Captain. But it looks like they have
neat.
a giant squid of some kind under, like the fact that it's clearly going to go under the Sahuagin ship and not attack that means that this squid has chosen sides or it's trained or something, which is what was a rumor, right?
Yeah.
Like, what? That can't be right. And so, yeah, you're like, wait, I guess this is a rumor. Like, we know what giant squid are. We just didn't think the Sahuagin had actually successfully trained them
Yeah.
as a unit of fighting, a fighting unit. So, yeah, that's you're looking at like that can only be a giant squid.
So I will hand you back the
Uh-huh.
glass, be like, yeah, so you know those rumors we heard about them training giant squid? Looks like they've actually done it. If we don't intervene, those guys are going to have a really bad day.
All right. Drift, send us set course or change course. Yeah. Hard to starboard.
Yes,
Trying to
Captain.
think of pirate.
Yeah.
Pirate.
Starboard.
Yeah. And we ring the bell to like let everybody know like we're going in. And
I emerge from below decks,
yeah.
whooshing my cloak around
Yeah.
me as I come up.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
So as you close in on the engagement, being up high like this, you have a clear advantage.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want us to descend to attack range, Captain?
Yeah. I think take us down. Yeah.
but not into the water, right?
Not into the water.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
We're just going a little lower.
Yeah, so
Just less
let's.
high.
Yes,
Make
high.
less high happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So some options are we could try to intimidate the pirates. We could just blast into them and dive into a firefight.
I think actually, I'm a good captain. I utilize the expertise of my crew. But I
Good hedge.
Yeah. But I think I call I swing. I like jump and grab a rope and I slide down it onto the other deck part where Melita's just
I like
come
it.
up. And I quickly
He's so cool.
I quickly explain
He's
the
very
situation
cool.
to you, and I'm like, we've got a Breland flag, we've got a Brine flag, I've got a couple of others. Should we put up a flag? Should we not put up a flag? Who should we be here?
I would say that because we're going to intervene for the glory of Brine.
Yes, for the
Then-
glory of Brine.
For the glory of Brine.
Glory of Brian.
Here. Your crew and they're like,
yeah. Raise the Brine flag. Signal the.
I love that.
Signal the Breland ship.
That's a great place. I have all my stuff there.
I've heard of Brian.
Yeah, I like that place.
They like you too, Drift.
Yeah, that great cafe. It's like right on that dock. It's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, it's a great cafe. It's a good cafe.
Okay. So, we're raising the flag.
Sorry.
Raising the flag for Brian. We're gonna intervene. Who's making the first move? I mean, you're gonna basically coming in as a surprise. Like everyone's
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Up was an option?
Okay, there's a basic move called Alpha Strike. When you get into an advantageous position and attack a target that can't retaliate, roll calculating.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Initially,
Is that-
we would be using Alpha Strike.
Yeah.
But you may
Captain-
want somebody with a lot of calculating to sort
right,
of
yeah.
like you
I'm-
could give the order, but then have
Yeah.
somebody carry
That
it
is
out.
not me.
Yeah.
I have +2.
Yeah, okay.
Well, before that happens, Captain, something drift from the back of the deck is like, I've looked at their tactics and they're really demonstrating two-dimensional thinking.
brilliant. Maneuver us right above them.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah. Melita, get on the turret.
Yeah, our infiltrator coming up with the sneak attack plan. All right, let's roll Alpha Strike.
Want us to flank them?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
From
Get into
above.
flanking
Because
the-
no one ever remembers to look up.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Clung to many a ceiling.
And that Star Trek reference is for you.
Thank you.
When you
Yes.
get into an advantageous position, calculating. Cool. I should not have used these dice. I don't
That's
know
a
what
6.
that is. Okay, it's a 6. And that's a 3 plus, so that's a 9, 11.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Cool. So you get to pick 2 of the things here. I'm gonna say your position has to become exposed.
Yes. I mean, exposed makes sense. Like, compromised doesn't to me, so...
Right.
We'd like to use stealth.
I'm gonna
No.
say that we deal our weapons harm. And that we like disable their so say we came up on their starboard side, so we're going to disable their starboard oars, like their
Yeah, their ability for like quick movement.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't know what our weapons harm would be. Is a giant ball of
Oh,
electricity.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's lasers. Yeah.
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 Our warning shot definitely hit them.
Is it the lightning weapon, the rocks? Like I forget what we had established for the turret.
Yeah,
The plasma ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
the plasma
Oh, yeah,
ball,
okay, so
lightning weapon. Yeah.
And it's so it fires energy down at the
Yeah.
starboard side of the ship. It rakes along the side. Some oars snap. Other people are just like diving because they don't want to be there when the energy hits them. And so yeah, that whole side of the ship we can't turn right anymore.
Yeah.
Real good at turning left.
Not so much
We
right.
Bismarck them.
Yes, right, yeah.
But the left side is facing the Breland ship, so it would have been dangerous to
Yeah.
fire
Right,
your
yeah,
weapon
yeah.
in between the ships. So
Yeah.
and it's also pretty clear now to the Breland ship that you're there to support them.
Yeah.
So
Man the catapult, somebody signaled to that ship about the squid.
What's the flag for squid?
Right, yeah. Look.
it would probably be good if any of you if you think you would have like the message spell, or if somebody wants to jump down with a feather fall or something. Somebody wants to jump down to the Breland ship.
Volunteering to plummet, sir.
Plummet away.
Okay.
I hand you like, here, grab that, and jump off the side.
Deploy
All
the
right.
driftwood.
Yeah.
What does your feather fall device look like?
Oh, I think it's like a belt.
Okay.
And then when I get into the air, I can slap the belt buckle.
Sure.
And like little, it looks like little balls like expand.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Not at all like a water wing.
Yeah, like floaties.
Yeah, like floaties.
Okay.
And
But air floaties.
But air floaties.
Yep.
And I'm
Okay,
gonna sort of
cool.
angle myself down for the Breland ship.
Yeah, and it is also with Featherfall, you can totally like free fall most
Yeah.
of the distance
Yeah.
and then go poof, at the end and land safely. So
I think one of our tactics that we've prepped for is we fly over a ship and we deploy the driftwood, but he doesn't activate the featherfall until after he hits.
well, no, he would be destroyed.
Yeah, we only did that once.
Yeah.
We decided that was it.
Like he
that
still
didn't work.
needs structural integrity.
Okay.
Took forever to
Yeah,
realize
it's
those
not Iron Man.
He lands in superhero pose. every
Right?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really hurts. It really hurts.
Real bad.
so bad on the knees. Okay, so you drop down to the Breland ship, and first of all, they're all like, "Oh no, we are being attacked,"
Right.
and several people have aimed their wands, but
Yeah.
they're saying like, "Oh, that's not a cannonball, that's a dude."
Yeah. And I'm like saluting. I'm like,
Right.
We're from Brian. We're here to help.
Okay,
Don't poke me with that.
so you get down there, you pretty much land right next to where like the captain and the navigator are on their steering section of the ship, whatever
Helm.
that's called. Yeah, the helm. Yeah.
And something sort of kicks in with Drift, and he kind of can speak the military lingo.
Oh, okay.
And maybe he's not quite sure why, but he's
Great.
like, reporting to Captain.
All right, let's have you roll.
Oh, God.
You're gonna roll slick, but with advantage because you're doing manipulate. Uh,
I gotta have advantage.
Can I throw something
Yeah.
in here possibly? Maybe we have We have some pre-recorded Can you record? Maybe he can record messages. So we have some pre-recorded greetings in my charming voice, that he can deploy.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I kind of liked your idea that it's like you clicked in with something from your.
Well, yeah, no, but we can probably do both. I can do both.
Yeah.
So
we've rehearsed greetings
Yeah.
and polished them for you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that better than a recording of your voice.
Yeah,
I want to see how Driftwood
Yeah.
does on his own.
Yes.
so take 2, right?
Yeah, the 2 highest.
So 11 minus 1 is 10.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Having advantage is nice.
That's nice. And I am not the slickest person in the world.
So on manipulate on a 10 plus, if they're an NPC, they choose 1. So I'm gonna have them accept your offer at face value, and
Considering my offer is look out for giant squid.
yeah,
We're here
yeah.
now.
Yeah, they come about. They were getting ready. The Brellan ship thought they were winning, right? And they were getting ready to board the Sogwin ship, which was a trap, right?
Okay,
yeah.
Now that you're down on the surface and your sort of tactical mind is clicking into place and you're
Yeah,
seeing
don't
all
do
these
that. Oh, yeah.
measurements, you're like, oh no, don't board. That is obviously a trap. Like don't. It's a trap.
Yeah, I haven't seen the giant squid.
Yeah.
No one expects the giant squid.
Right.
Release the Kraken.
Right, and if they had boarded, then the squid comes up and grabs the ship, and no one's there to fight off the kraken. So, yeah. So you've got them to pull away from the pirate ship a little bit. We're still in combat.
Jen, I can come back up and take the wheel if you think of something you want to do.
Well, there's a lot
just
of
make
things she
that
can
up.
do
Yeah.
from the wheel too.
Yeah.
It's like a rope too. You just whoop it.
So let's check in with Kara. What's Kara up to?
Right, in red shirts, yeah.
That is a very good question. I think for now I'm just going to watch the progress of the battle and see if anything comes up that we need.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Let's let's have you scope it out. So let's have you roll calculating.
That is a 5.
Well, let's add a third. You're rolling for advantage because you have this high position.
That's 7 then.
Oh, okay, so 7. You.
Almost
I mean,
not better.
it's a
better.
7
Better
advantage
enough.
is success.
Better enough.
So you get to pick one of the things from scope it out. A questionnaire. If you need to tweak the question a little bit, that's fine.
But now we do need
How
to
can I
learn.
best end this quickly?
There
I
is.
can do that.
Theoretically, there's a frequency that you
Yeah,
could
let's not do that again.
like a noise you could send to the squid that would either make it run away or just freak out and attack whatever. It would definitely sort of lose its focus and whatever its command was.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to sort of rig the blaster weapon to sort of tweak it and get the dial in the right frequency of that.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
killing it would definitely be a task, right?
Yeah.
That's a big job to kill the thing. But if you get it to freak out, it'll either attack both ships or none of them, or run for it, or whatever.
How would we bring it home?
But it's not going to be organized, right?
Really big.
It's not going to be this killer super weapon coming up out of the water.
Okay. Captain, I've got an idea for the squid.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it.
So I think I can convert our turret to shoot sound instead of electricity and drive the squid off.
Make it so.
I love it. So I just want to keep the camera on that for a minute. Let's
Yeah.
have you
It's so cool.
spout technobabble.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
make
it's
that
time.
happen.
Technobabble.
It's time. You don't even have to roll anything for that. You
Okay.
just pick some descriptors and.
Okay, so I'm going to go over and recalibrate the trilithium capillaries and rig a deflector dish behind the globe so that it'll bounce the sound back in.
focus it
Focus
properly.
back down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I love it.
Can I use the get hooked? When a hook applies to the current situation, either you, the SM, or another player brings it to the attention of your group, apply your hook, disadvantage. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's to mess with somebody.
I thought that was to help.
Yeah, some hooks are to help and some are to create disadvantage.
Oh, okay. All right. I wanted to give her advantage because I trust her.
Well,
her
I mean, you could
expertise
do
with
a
shit.
help roll depending on
Is
what
there a
comes
help?
next. I'm gonna have you science the shit out of this.
Oh, lean on me.
Yeah,
That's-
there's a
that's
lean
it.
on me move.
We're gonna echo on train tracks. Doesn't really now doesn't seem to
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you roll plus alien to like just magic some some bullshit real quick,
Okay.
which I like.
Not good at alien.
That's all right.
We'll manage. 3.
Uh,
5. 4. Math is
4.
hard.
Yeah, 4. So, Captain, if you want to do lean on me, the
Well, that would give her advantage. I could get.
oh yeah.
I could choose
So,
one
okay,
of
so
them.
you'll get an
Yeah.
extra die. So why don't you roll for that?
Okay. Not that I'm great at stalwart either, but I'm not terrible at it. Just +1. Okay, that's fine. 7 + 1 is 8.
Okay.
So I will choose the. My efforts help them. She has advantage going forward.
Okay. So let's do that. Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're at a 9.
A 9.
Okay, that's way better.
Yeah.
happen.
Much
It's better than 4.
Yeah.
Market
Because
so,
that's how numbers work.
The one thing I would like to do. So partially, this is like assaulted by the abyss. The abyss stares back. So you're sort of staring into the abyss. If any of these questions jump out at you, or to mod it a little bit, we could also give you some information
Okay.
because you're successful in getting this thing rigged up.
Right. The abyss strikes back. Those are the questions I'm looking at.
Stares back. Yeah.
In what way is your character's mind and soul vulnerable?
Okay. So the I think as you're setting this up and you fire it down into the water, there is a moment where your mind and the squid's mind are connected, right? And the squid, I think you. What's a moment where Kara was like truly afraid?
So immediately after we all became undead
Mhm.
and she woke up in a grave.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And had to like dig her way out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that feeling of being trapped and out of control and stuck is flooding you because the squid feels the same way, right? It's been like mind controlled into doing what it's doing, and so you're like adapting this ray of like scared off, like, oh, actually maybe I could sort of like counterspell what's happening to this thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you successfully break this, and instead of frenzying it, it is actually just like you feel this wave of gratitude and the thing just goes down. It's like, I don't want any of this. Goodbye forever. I'm leaving. And yeah, you have the squid
Nice.
descends and
I'm leaving. Goodbye. Don't call me.
Yeah.
right. And the three of you, with the squid out of commission, the Sogwin ship is quickly trying to like backpedal and get out. So do you want to let them go, or do you want to like just wreck house?
Well, it's better if we don't let them go because then they're going to go back to their.
Also, I'm sure that they have very nice things on that ship. I'd like to see what they have
Yeah.
Okay.
and make it mine.
I'm on a boat.
I mean, ours.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I think we
We're
want
on
to
a
try
boat
and like
before as well.
disable them, capture them.
Okay,
like,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so blast the sails, and
Yeah.
the mast topples over, the pirates are scrambling. A bunch of them are, like, most of the Sogwins just dive off because they can, breathe
Yeah.
underwater and they
Right, they can
swim
just
away and
swim
there's
away.
not much you can do about it.
Yeah. Try
But,
and net some of them if we can.
right, yeah, so you catch some,
Vicious.
but the captain stays with the ship. Is a like tall Sogwin woman who, and most Sogwin are like 5 feet tall, right? This woman's 6 feet tall and has like kind of like a fish woman, Wonder Woman build, you know.
Nice.
So
Nice.
and is clearly in charge. There's like screaming at the sailors who are diving off the ship, like, I will find you, and, as she's being arrested, right?
Yeah.
Like, And you know that whole spin-off show is her breaking out of prison and like hunting down
She's
the people.
got a clean house.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very bad day for some runaway pirates. But the Brilliant ship is taking command of the pirate ship, and they're
Can I shoot her?
Who the
pirate captain?
Well, she's being captured.
Oh, okay.
She's-
No, I thought she was still. I thought she was still doing.
Oh, no,
okay.
no.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
have her in manacles and
I tried to, and they're like, no, we got her. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I was gonna-
Good. Or maybe you like, are you part of the team that like took her down? Like that's,
No. I was gonna use. Kara made me a lightning crossbow, so I was gonna use that. But
Oh
then,
yeah,
because people were in the way.
Well,
and
let's say that was the start. No. You did that, and then
I
it
totally missed.
It,
But it scared her. It was cool.
You
Yeah.
zapped her, you tased her real good,
Oh, okay.
and that let the boarding team go on there and like tackle her, and you know she's like throwing Brilliant soldiers left or right. Brilliant's mostly human, and she's just like flinging people, but they dogpile on and get
Well, if I get
manacles
this,
on,
and I shot her, and it tased both of us.
oh
Because
yeah,
we're still experimental. You know, we still work there, like, it's not
Working on
really-
that one.
gotta wake up a second later. I'm like,
grounding effect.
oh,
Right.
that hurts.
Arc.
I'm looking over the side. Right, needs more insulation.
Right.
I'm on my back going,
Yeah, I did it.
did it, did the thing.
My legs will be back online in a
Yeah,
minute.
right, yeah. This twitching will end. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
fine. No, it's good.
All right. So, who wants to meet the captain of the Brilliant ship?
Yeah, I think I'll rappel down. You should probably come with me at least.
Oh, I'm gonna. I'm gonna leap down to the Sagwan ship and do. And my feather fall spell is like I'm in free fall until like maybe like 10 feet off the ground, and I just flap open my cape, and it kind of like inflates a little.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh,
It's
it's total superhero lander.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like it gives me Scarlet Witch vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's like a Scarlet Witch or Vision landing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And Captain.
Yeah, I think I like the old-fashioned way. I drop a rope and slide down.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And you still have feather fall in case something happens.
Right, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay. So we descend enough where it's like 100-foot rope is
Yeah,
close
yeah.
enough to
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So do you want to go down to the ship too, or are you staying with the Chironex?
I'll go.
Okay. Cool. So the four
I'll
of
catch you. Just jump.
No. Don't
No, we're not.
No?
We're not
Okay,
doing
we're
that
doing
anymore.
Don't do that.
We
And
tried
I
it
don't-
once.
that would have worked if you let me.
It
Yeah.
went poorly.
Yeah.
We know better now. We've learned our
Right.
lesson.
Yeah.
That would have worked if you hadn't stopped me.
All right.
Captain, the bold crew of the Chironex of Brine comes to render what assistance we can.
Right. So the captain of this ship is Captain Hallie, and she actually is like a 5 foot tall human woman, and but you saw her in the fight of like she was literally vanishing, coming up behind people with her rapier, and then vanish and rape. And as an
nice.
infiltrator, like game
Just saying, I really like her.
game recognized
Right.
game, like she was just terrifying
Yeah.
combatant.
Yeah.
Where
She's
she's
kinda hot.
literally teleporting back and forth. It's kind of like young. What's the actress who plays Janeway?
Kate Mulgrew?
Yeah, like in her 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back when she was Mrs. Columbo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
that's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut right there.
Yep.
I know.
You are welcome, internets.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad Google search.
Yeah.
So she's her last name is Hallie. She's Captain Hallie. She hasn't told you her first name.
Yeah,
She's just
yeah.
like, I am Captain Hallie. And for being 5 foot tall, she carries an enormous gravitas, right?
Yeah.
I am driftwood.
Yeah. And she is initially like, oh, this is great, like a warforged. I understand what's happening. Yeah, Captain half orc. That's okay. It's not the first time I've seen that, like a half orc officer. We've been there. And so she's like, oh, this is great. Or like, wait, where are you from?
From Brine.
Right. And then the undead half orcs. Wait, you're an orc. You're a half orc. Drop down. And she's just bristling, and several people on deck. Their crossbows come out.
More squid?
No. Everyone, please. You
What?
have nothing to fear from us. We're just here to help you. We're on a mission to Sharn, and we saw you could use some assistance.
And you hear from less disciplined soldiers, like, well, I'm missing invade Sharn, the zombie invasion, blah, 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 blah. And so Captain
So
Hallie...
this is the thanks that we get
Yeah,
for
Captain
saving
Hallie
your hides?
is irritated and, like, lightning zaps one of her own sailors. She's still not pleased about
Yeah.
having undead on her ship, but his lack of discipline was immediately dealt
Yeah.
with. So she zaps one of her own sailors. He just clatters to the floor. His crossbow shoots up into the, doing into the ceiling of the, or under the mast. You know?
Yeah.
I got it. Start climbing up.
Go finish.
And Captain Ander, I'm gonna have you roll manipulate. So why don't you roll slick?
Okay.
Unless you have a different move that you
Well, I
want
would
to-
like to use my move Sex Appeal,
Oh, okay.
which is like
Here we go.
Yes. Which was tailor-made.
somebody wrote a game and knew exactly what I wanted to play.
Yeah, yeah.
Your sex appeal is undeniable and near universal. When you turn on your charm, you can always make someone attracted to you or unsettled by you, their choice.
Uh-huh.
Depending on their reaction, you can use promise of affection or distance as exchange when you manipulate.
Okay.
So,
Um,
I guess that, okay, so I do it as a manipulate roll, but that's just,
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
So also what I'm going to do, I was originally going to have you roll with disadvantage.
Oh,
But
uh-huh.
I'm going to remove the disadvantage. So you just do a
okay, yeah.
roll.
That's how pretty I am.
Yep.
Okay. 6, and then I'm guessing that's my slick,
Slick?
right? Yeah,
Yep.
which is a +2, which would be 8.
Okay. So on a manipulate, I'm going to choose one of these. And what does your sex appeal do again?
It basically just means they can choose. They're either attracted to me or they're unsettled by me.
Sure.
Their choice.
Like most of my characters, Captain Hallie is aggressively pan.
Yes.
And so she's attracted to you.
Yeah.
And what does that accomplish?
It basically means I can kind of use the promise of affection as currency or as exchange.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So I guess in the
And you're not undead.
No,
so
I'm
that's
not, yeah.
covers
Plus.
some of her prejudice.
I guess.
Oh, I guess what it's saying. So on the manipulate, there's the they
Well,
might
he's
ask you to
alive.
promise something, and
you're
you know,
alive, I'm alive.
or they accept your offer at face value and agree to the exchange. Or, so I guess it's saying like I can use my hotness as the exchange.
as part of the promise?
Yeah.
Okay.
The you know where I'm I say what I want and what I'm willing to give.
Yeah, so so Captain Hallie asks you to promise something and provide concrete assurance that you'll follow through. So they want to know, like this isn't just a stunt by Brian.
Yeah.
You know, you know, the way that this conversation, you know, we're not going to go through every word of the conversation, but some of it is along the lines of like, maybe this whole attack was set up by Brian so you could swoop in and save them.
Oh, uh-huh.
Air quotes, save them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's part of it. So she wants to know, like, how are you promising that's not the case?
Oh.
And she's willing to listen because you could tell she's attracted to you.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Like, that's, you're having this sort of, like, spicy word
Jason
spar.
Momoa her.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. And, yep.
Aquaman, Manoa.
Yes,
yeah, but not,
Aquaman,
not
Jason
not,
Momoa,
not-
yeah.
like the commercial guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
always had.
Yeah,
Super Bowl commercial. So.
I think, I just kind of explained to her, like, well, look, like, you know, we're essentially, like, my crew is over there, like, basically stripping this Sahagwan ship. So we're taking the spoils, by the way. So we're getting
so
what we
acknowledge
want.
your own, like, kind of selfish interest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, we literally just came in and saved you. Like, if we...
It's your skeleton crew.
God damn it, Jason. Jason.
They had the mood going until then.
Are you proud of yourself?
I am.
Yeah, I think he is.
The best part is I didn't actually think ahead. Like I haven't been waiting 2.5 hours to make that joke. It just popped in my head now.
No. I wouldn't believe you, except I know how your mind works. So, damn it. So
It's all going so well till then.
right? Yeah. But basically, like, we're taking the spoils of this fight. Like, you can keep the prisoners and the proof, you know, and the glory or whatever, but we're taking the spoils.
Okay.
And like clearly, like, we've landed our officers on her ship to talk, but our crew is not. you know.
Well, you're like 3 other people.
Yeah.
We had established.
Oh.
Yeah.
The ship is above. They don't know how many people are up there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't know.
So 2 skeletons and a obvious zombie, like somebody who had been dead for a couple weeks came out of their grave. They're over there, kind of, and it's a small enough pirate ship that 3 of them could sail it because they also don't have to sleep, right? The biggest problem with a ship like that is having shifts,
I think also it's, I point out that our ship, while advanced, is still pretty small compared to her ship of the line and even the Sahawan ship. And so, like, by itself, we wouldn't have been able to take either ship, maybe,
Sure.
or kind of indicate that.
Okay.
Like, we're small, fast, and resourceful.
And better than you.
Yep.
Well, I don't say that, but it's clear from the evidence.
All right.
I'm still mad because I thought she was hot, and then she opened her mouth, and it was like,
Oh no. Yeah. So, I think that argument gets the point home. Is there anything we need to do on the ship before, we're all here, we're with this crew that is curious and suspicious at the same time.
I'm going to ask, Cara, so we get to keep the squid, though, yeah? I mean...
No, the squid left.
Oh. I wanted to see a squid.
I mean, the squid wanted to go home.
Well, no, I get that. I just,
He was very sad. He didn't like working as a soldier.
Oh, God, yeah, I know. Tell me that.
Mm.
No, I mean, tell me about
Well, he was forced into service, and he didn't really want to be doing any of that.
Yeah, that's not. You shouldn't be doing that to people in squids. And, well, hey, squids, too.
Yeah, definitely squids.
Yeah. Because when you're that big, you don't want people telling you what to do.
Mm.
Well, I don't think anybody likes people telling them what to do.
But there's more of him, so it's like more feeling because it's bigger.
I'm not sure it works like that.
So, in this conversation, several of the other, like the Brilliant soldiers, sailors, I guess is the better term, are sort of going like, what do you mean squid? Like, what squid? And they're mostly talking to you, Drve, because they're like trying not to look directly at the undead orc.
The giant squid. It was like twice the size of the boat, and it was like under the water, and then Kara here zapped it with the thing, told it to go away. But it was massive. I mean, it would have eaten the boat, just ripped it to pieces. I mean, sailors would have gone flying with his tentacles were. I mean, it's taller than the mast.
So right now, it sounds like the fish I caught was this big, and then it got away.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have you roll intimidate.
Okay.
Not because you're trying to scare them, but you're trying to impress them with the fact that they narrowly avoided death, so it's plus volatile.
Oh, I have some of that.
And I'm gonna have you. Yeah, you won't have advantage because they still aren't sure. No, you don't have.
I don't have it.
Yeah. I was. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's try it. Plus volatile.
Holy
moly.
So 3.
Okay.
I do get an XP, I guess.
So the I think the environment is just, it goes cold. They know that they're like, okay, we get that you're not here to attack us, but you don't have to make up extra stories, right?
What?
They're not literally saying. You could just see the audience at least sees.
Yeah,
this,
I don't get it at all.
Shift of okay, whatever. And they go back to, you all are kind of up on that upper deck talking to the captain, and the rest of the crew is still binding up Sahuagin soldiers or whatever. The Sahuagin captain, she's been knocked out because she was causing a lot of problems, and they finally just punched her out because she was fighting. She just kept fighting even though she was tied up.
Oh yeah, this thing's gonna need it. It was.
Yeah, I saw. I'll
okay. It worked great though. I mean,
it was impressive.
Yeah, it was far.
But one of the Sahuagin who is being dragged across the deck. Do any of you speak? Did we establish if anyone speaks elemental language? Okay, you do.
For sure.
Is that?
No,
I don't think
you do.
Okay.
I've spoken to the elemental a lot.
Okay.
That was something I picked up because it's really handy to have them on your side.
Yep. So you can hear primordial with the accent of water elemental, right?
I don't understand it at all, but
Oh, okay.
I do listen really
Okay.
nice.
So this one Sogwin, kind of medium size, a little over 5 feet, but rangy and real thin, like a scarecrow, fishman. He's being dragged across the deck and like scrabbling and like trying to get away, and then is muttering this like a primordial sort of curse. But then you let's see, you said you speak primordial, so you're the first one to notice because most of the soldiers have passed this off as like, okay, this guy's he doesn't want
Cursing
to be
you out.
Yeah, like that. This happens. Like there's a pirate who's being arrested. Like it's not
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But you realize he's casting a spell, and you see the arms and legs already turning into tentacles as
Oh, God,
as
not
this
again with this.
this thing is shape changing.
Again with the
Right?
squid.
So each arm becomes 2 tentacles, the legs become 2 tentacles as this, but you see it like happening. You don't have to wait for Voltron to finish connecting. What do you do as you see this thing?
Like I turn around, I'm like, "Ugh, not again.
Like
with
he's
this."
casting polymorph basically.
Not again
so,
with the tentacles.
Yeah.
And I toss my I have a what in this is called, like on my sheet is called a nano blade,
Okay.
but is a
Magic dagger.
It's a
of
magic
some kind?
dagger.
Okay. Cool. Let's roll volatile.
great.
You can do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Yay,
6
XP.
minus.
I miss.
Okay.
Or something.
So why don't you pick something from Firefight, and I'll tell you how it goes wrong. It's in the top left corner on basic moves.
Oh, there it is. I am gonna say. That I, oh, this'll be fun. You make an advance or force your enemy out of cover.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you flip this dagger out, and it looks like the camera's following it, like end over end, and then it thunks right into the mast next to this guy's head as he finishes changing, right? And it's just like, bruh, and is basically octopus on deck, right? But enormous, giant octopus, and is like kind of holding himself up with a couple of tentacles, is grabbed onto the mast with a couple tentacles, and you are like, and has thrown the soldiers away who were holding onto him, and sees you as kind of first target. So I'm just gonna say you are grappled, right, as my hard move, and you're getting squeezed, right? Like if you stay in this, it's gonna be bad news. So what does everyone do?
I did not consent to have you hug me.
No,
Yeah.
it's a bad hug.
I think I leap into action and I draw my cutlass and I just I dive onto one of these tentacles and just start hacking
Okay.
away at it. The one that's got
Let's roll volatile.
Melita.
Yeah, maybe you can free your
Yes.
friend.
7 plus 2 is 9.
Okay, so you get exchange harm and one of these options.
Okay. So my harm is 3.
Mm-hmm.
3. What is skirmish? It says 3 harm: skirmish, discharge, messy.
Oh yeah, it just means you can use it up close.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a shotgun in
Oh,
the,
yeah,
in
but-
the game that
But
I've
now it's
turned
a
it
cutlass.
into a cutlass.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, so so my harm does 3, and I get to choose 1. I will. It has discharge, so I can. I am going to discharge it to deal double its harm. So I think I have a. It's got a. I think it's got a. It's basically it's got a a poison to it.
Oh,
It's got
okay.
the jellyfish poison.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so I basically flick a little button on the hilt and it coats it with the jellyfish poison. I just get one charge of it. Basically,
Okay, cool.
At a time, but
So
yeah,
you would also
so I just-
take
yeah.
a 3 harm
Uh-huh.
as this thing. So you jump in there. You had a 9, right?
yeah.
And you wanted to. Wait,
So
which one did you
I
take?
discharged the weapon, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
doubled the damage.
Oh, and
so,
6 harm.
So it does
Oh,
6
okay.
harm.
Yeah. So this thing, you like slice through 2 different tentacles, right? And one of them is the one holding you. You drop to the ground and like, ugh, as this thing is still wiggling. And yeah, you roll out of that. But Captain, this thing, it comes at you for 3 harm as well. And you have the option of when you're to mark harm, you can mark off one of the harm options there, or take 1 stress to ignore all of the harm that you're about to take.
Oh, I take 1 stress, but it ignores all of it.
Right.
Okay, then
But
yeah.
once you have 5 stress, then you take a
You take a
calamity,
calamity,
which is
yeah.
great. I mean, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna do
That
that.
was-
Yeah,
that was
I'll
inside
take a
question.
stress and ignore the harm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Uh,
So yeah, you dodge out. I mean, you get battered around and
Yeah.
squeezed, and this thing is still like snarling, and now it's also trying to like drag itself towards the railing and get out of here.
yeah.
Um,
And I think it grabs at me, but like I'm pretty tall and strong and buff, and so like I'm stressed out from basically wrestling with it, but I'm still
Okay.
in control of myself.
What's happening here?
So I'm gonna say, Kara, could you take 3 steps back, please?
I will take 3 steps back.
And then I fired the weapon again.
Oh, yeah.
So I blast him and I get blasted
Well,
back.
let's see. Let's roll some. Let's roll volatile.
Well, yeah, I can see. Well, I think I get blasted back regardless if I hit it. That would be a 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Wait.
Yeah, 3 was 4.
Oh. I also saw the +4 thing for a second.
Yeah. So the blast goes off, but I think the weapon actually just like it doesn't explode. You just blast, and then it just like you're holding 6 or 7 pieces of like, wait, what?
And then I want to like be I'm like blasted back.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
You
like,
just like tip backwards, scrape across the floor a little bit.
and I'm gonna say I'm rattled by it. If that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool because
fine.
that
Yeah.
seems like logical because this thing sort of.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
Yeah, I think you have to take just a scratch first.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, I think you have to make your way down the track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I could be wrong about that, but I want to do it that way.
Okay.
Because the bottom ones are worse than the top ones.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
I can't go on. Your journey is over if you pass away, unmourned and unnoticed by the vast black of space.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Harsh.
Adrift. Adrift.
That's harsh.
Kara, what are you up to?
I'm going to draw my pistol wand
Yep.
and fire
Kazat.
magic bolts of nastiness.
I love it.
Badly.
Oh no.
So that's a 4.
Okay. I'm gonna say the wand goes off. Several of these things sort of impact the octopus in a way that doesn't seem very impactful, and your wand is currently discharged. I don't know if that weapon normally has discharge on it, but the way discharge works is, or kind of like the cycle of this game is like, do a thing, get cover, use your recover action to like reset anything with discharge on it, like reload your weapon or recock it or whatever. And so you're going to need to do a recover action to use your wand again.
Okay.
If you want to do that. So, why don't you take another thing and then I'll have the octopus go.
Okay, I'm going to recall my dagger.
Sure. Yeah. It snaps back to your hand.
Yes.
Is it okay if it like electrical teleports to your hand instead of like moving through the space?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to
Okay.
me.
Zap.
It blinks.
Yeah.
That's part of why I like Captain Haley so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a blink
Yeah.
knife.
Sucks that people are bigots.
Yep.
she's so disappointing.
No.
And I am going to take another swipe at Octopus Boy.
Okay. Great. Let's roll volatile unless you got a different move you want to use.
I don't think so. That's fine.
And Adam, you did 6 harm, right?
6 harm. Yeah.
But I still don't make.
Oh no.
Oh.
It is a 5. I
Okay.
should just stop rolling Molotov. I'm real good at like planning and like
Yeah, this is not
infiltrating, and
not
I'm
our jam.
bad at
Right.
stabbing.
Right. That's fine.
Fighting is not our jam, really.
All right.
What are the ship's crew doing?
Well, they're firing their crossbows into it, and the ship's wizard was caught off guard because he was off like doing something with the sails and like, oh crap, what? And, like trying to get his wand out and.
I know.
Oh, is
That's
there-
actually a really good
Do you
idea.
want to do something different?
Well, if I use instead of firefight and I do act quick instead, when you use your instincts or reflexes to avoid a danger or negotiate through danger towards your goal.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm open to that if you're not trying to do damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm totally okay with that.
So you would have a 7 in that case, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Which one do you want to pick?
Cool. So I am going to say I'm off balance or rushed and I have disadvantage going forward.
Okay.
Because I'm having to like negotiate through like this slick octopus blood.
Oh yeah, it's nasty.
Also, he slimed me.
Yeah, and it's pink for some reason. Why is the blood pink? It's like looks like Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah.
Why does it smell like this?
Yeah. Why does it smell minty? No. Why?
So wrong.
This is like the boat air freshener smell.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God.
So you tumble through this thing and you manage to tackle it to the ground long enough for the ship's wizard to cast dispel magic on the like polymorph situation, and the Sogwin like passes out under your tackle. You're just like and just slouches. But you the success of your act quick is that you personally have impressed the crew, right? That you threw yourself into danger when you weren't. You're like obviously not the like sword and shield, tank frontline fighter, but dove in anyway. And I think that like the crew will remember this, right? And
North remembers.
there is instead a night of instead of them going like, okay, be on your way, you're sort of invited to like hang out for the evening while they're doing repairs and have dinner with the captain if you want, and we'll just sort of, if you want, I just need to know if you want to stay or go, and then we'll fast forward.
I think we should probably continue our mission.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'd like to get up.
Yeah. And yeah, I think
Broke the thing.
we've successfully like
Okay,
charmed
thank you.
them as much as we can. They're gonna have to like work on themselves and
Yeah.
get enlightened.
Yep.
They're gonna have to sit with their bigotry for
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
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 I'm very disappointed in them.
Yeah. And I sort of hint that to Captain Halley as we're all returning. Like,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
you can
that
see the glimmer of like, I probably need to like walk
she's
some of
waking
this
up.
back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
But they know we saved them, and
okay. So we pack back up into the Chironex and sail off into the night because we don't need to sleep. You bring your. So is the skeleton crew just
He does.
anchoring the ship here, or are they coming back up and like anchoring the pirate ship to come back for later? Are they going to take the pirate ship home to Brine?
I think that
is it still floatable?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do we need
it
another
just
ship?
can't go right.
Yeah, it can't go
But
right.
3 lefts makes a right, so it's good.
Well, we only have 3 extra crewmen, and 3 people can't sail that ship.
No, they could.
They
Yeah.
can sail that ship. 3 of them just do it. But do we need another ship?
I mean, we might as well. They can ransom it back to the Sogwin.
Yeah.
At the very least, yeah. Or
Yeah.
just have an extra ship in the town.
Might not hurt. No, a ship's a ship. No,
Okay,
it's
I will be done.
It's
great.
It's ours now.
We unload the NPCs onto the extra ship, and the 4 of you
Feel so exposed
sail
now.
off into the night sky.
Operation Skeleton Shield. Is that what you're doing?
The Chironex comes into view of the coast by next morning. By afternoon, you're sailing over land, and before you know it, you're getting some grumbling complaints from the Earth Elemental, as we're now in a part of this plane that rubs up against the plane of air, which is the antithesis of the plane of Earth, right? And so your elemental is like, oh, this sucks. I hate it. Like if you were standing in the rain with no like coat or anything, that's the kind of noises your elemental is making. Like,
You want me to go talk to it? Talk to it?
We should all let's.
Let's get our business done, and then we can get them away from it.
No, but I mean, before we get there, you want me to go talk to it?
You don't speak its language.
I talk to it all the time.
I mean, just because he doesn't speak primordial doesn't mean the elemental doesn't speak common or understand it.
it has never spoken common, but it's true that it might understand common.
Okay, probably does it right. Make them feel better. Somebody make them feel better.
I go below deck to the rock.
Okay.
They're
Hey,
immune to
hey,
my charms.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? You know, I'll talk to it. I know, right? Yeah. Oh, there. I know. Yeah, I hear you. You want to play chess again? Or?
Just there's a noise like I don't know if you've ever heard a dump truck dumping out gravel, but it's that noise.
No, I know you won last time. Oh yeah, you won last time. No, it was a fair game.
Do you move both pieces?
Yeah.
Of those, like, which one? This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Oh dang, good move.
Yeah, good move, man.
That's so good.
I love it.
All right. Why don't you roll lean on me? You're gonna roll plus starboard. Roll plus starboard.
Okay, starboard. I got it. Well, I got a thread.
Okay.
No, I got a 4.
Oh god. Boy, our dice are just hateful
Yeah,
today.
they're not cooperating really
Rude.
anyway.
All right. So the elemental. I'll say the one thing I'll give you is that it seems like, or at least as far as you're concerned, it has understood, but it is just too grumpy to be consoled.
Yeah.
And it's like aware of what you're trying to do. Like, thanks, but
I
no.
think I've done a great job.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I played chess for like an hour with it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Totally won. He totally won again.
Yeah.
I
Good time.
appreciate you, but I'm still mad. I'm gonna stay mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
And I wish you spoke my language so I could tell you to go away.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. He just keeps saying over and over, "Leave me alone. I just want some peace and quiet."
And I'm like, move this one? Move this
Yeah.
one? Okay, oh, good move.
So it could be through message spells or whatever, but you have arranged for a place to dock. There are a ton of like airship docking towers in Sharn, or you could go like in the water and park down at the dock. It's up to you.
I think we would be more comfortable having the ship in the air.
Yeah.
And,
They have whole docks for us.
Yes, yeah, and we do not have the personnel to keep a massive force on the
Yeah, I mean it's more expensive to dock an airship, but you guys have funds. You have gems.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
We also, we got some loot from the.
The whole chest set is made of gems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's pure emerald.
Yeah,
It's an-
yeah, it's just-
yeah.
It's like they're sculpted emerald.
Apparently
Right,
these
yeah.
are worth something.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So the the dockmaster equivalent of an airship tower, gets you checked in, and then realize, because he's talking to you first. So like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, or captain of a ship is not the weirdest thing
Yeah.
you've seen. And it's this gnome with white hair and dark skin, and has like a clipboard that's too big for him, but like it's like a human-sized clipboard. That's so he sort of has like a TV in his hands,
Yeah.
right? And has his arms wrapped around it, like with a big quill, and is writing down information. Like, you're from where now?
Brine.
Brine.
Brine, the island of Welldown. Brine. BRINE.
Okay.
Brine.
Well, if you say so. And you can tell, like, he does a minor cantrip kind of spell, and looks at something. It's hard to tell exactly what he's looking at. Also, it's written in Gnomish, and so it's like, oh, that's a place. All right, write some extra things down.
He might be distracted by the fact that I doubt there's a lot of air or stone elemental powered airships floating around.
Yeah, I mean your Earth Elemental is inside the ship.
Is
and
the ring Earth?
I don't. This doesn't have a ring, and so that's
That's
probably
weird.
that's
Yeah.
the most noticeable
Oh.
thing is there's no like, ring of air or fire, which is the most common things to have around an
It's
airship.
just a floating
Uh-huh.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't have these.
Right. You have Floatstone. What's that from? There's a game that has Floatstone in it.
Floatstone.
This is
I know
Sorwin.
which.
Is usually the
Or is that
airship.
Avatar? The movie, like not the Last Airbender, but the Blue People, Avatar.
No, Floatstone's is a game. There's a game
Yeah.
there's a setting that has Floatstone.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what it is.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is Floatstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Lowercase f, no trademark.
Right.
It's thematically similar yet legally distinct.
Yeah.
OGL.
Yeah.
Totally OGL.
Yep.
Yeah. Where, yes, that is.
Hi,
It is
Kitty.
a place. We are
Hey.
from there, and this is our ship.
Right. I heard it was all zombies down there.
How we doing, Captain?
What's up?
How we doing, Captain?
Well, it's
Oh.
going much slower than I thought it would.
Oh.
But
Well,
You're a
Jason,
little
it would be-
person.
I am quite. I'm the normal height. You are exceptionally tall.
Well,
Thanks.
for us, we're normally tall.
Okay, so the fee is, and then he like quotes double what you had expected him to say.
Yeah.
But he like passes it off like he's very good at running the docks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And is trying to charge you double. You can afford it if you want to pay it. You want to step in, Infiltrator?
Oh, yeah, do you-
Floatstone
you
is a real thing, A, and also in Civ Beyond Earth.
That's that Sid Beyond Earth. That's
Yes.
right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what is it in real life? Floatstone
It's a
is-
calciferous rock?
Oh, okay.
No, calcer... Cal...
Yeah, if it's
Cal-
calcified, then it might.
Oh, I bet it floats in water.
Calcareous?
Not like floats
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
air.
so
It doesn't
it's
float in the air.
porous,
Right,
and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really a rock that floats
Okay.
in water. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's it. Sid Beyond Earth. Now I
Yeah,
oh
right,
yeah.
exactly.
That's where it's from.
Sorry, I mean,
sorry.
I know I'm derailing, but it, like,
No,
was kind
I-
of
It
bothering
No, it
me.
would've bothered us
important.
forever.
Yes, it bothered me as
Yeah.
well. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I played a lot of that game.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna remind him. Like, I'm going to very charmingly remind him that that the more he charges me for the dock, the less his tip is going to be, or his the less his.
Okay, let's roll manipulate.
Yeah.
I like that. Roll slick. No disadvantage or
Okay.
anything. Just
Okay. I do. Well, no, that's a. Okay, my con artist is my signature move. When I
Oh.
attempt to perform a deception, subterfuge, misdirection, bluff, or
Oh,
con on a person.
yeah, I like that better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not deception, but you are
Yeah.
like turning this to your
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There we go.
7 plus 2 would
Yeah.
be a 9.
Okay.
Fight
Yeah.
the captain.
So on a 7 and 9, your deception will work for a while. Hold 1 as you act out and maintain your deception. May spin hold on the following: something small escapes their notice, or suspicion and blame,
Oh,
or is
that's-
shifted away from you.
All right, I got this. So you're just gonna have to follow through on the big tip.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's like, all right. Well, we can talk about what you mean by that. I think I misquoted the original rate. I apologize. I made a mistake in my paperwork.
I thought you might have, and as I'm like opening my purse and counting gold coins, and I make sure the emeralds are
Yeah,
seen
like,
in there.
like, oh,
Oh,
my
I
purse
dropped-
is so full.
Sorry, I just dropped those. But,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I'll
These
have-
gems are small. They're easy to overlook.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you end up paying about the same amount that
Yeah,
you were going to
that's-
pay before, but like now you have a happy dock.
Exactly, which is
what do
more
we call him?
important.
Dockmaster.
Dockmaster,
Yeah.
Which is more important than a happy like dock
Right.
owner who I will never see.
Yeah.
And as that's being resolved, come rushing out of the like, what terminal? I guess
Yeah.
is
Waiting lounge.
in an orc, and he is followed by a dwarf, and she has like a gorgeous beard. The dwarf has this beautiful, like, light brown beard, and the orc is a guy coming out. It's dressed to the nines, like city dress, but like is very formal. but it's the sleeve is artfully cut open on the left shoulder to show the mark of finding that is, and you know, dragon marks can be sort of a little bit fadey or darker or bigger. It sort of indicates the strength of the mark, and you can tell, like, the mark goes elbow to shoulder and is pretty dark. It's not like solid black on the skin, but it's pretty dark. So this is somebody who's high up, and
Can we explain the whole dragon mark thing?
It's fine.
and this guy says, "Hi, I'm here from Seeker Selena. I was sent to
Samira.
Was it Samir?
Yes, Samira.
Whoops, Samira, yeah. Samira, Seeker Samira, to welcome you to Sharn. And you can tell he's a little like, okay, yep, I know that there are undead people here, and I'm ready to deal with this, right? Like,
I just put my arm around his shoulder, you know, and I just kind of pull him into the group. I'm like, it's a pleasure to be here with you. This is my crew.
Hello from Brian.
Melita, Driftwood, Kara, and we are very, very excited to see Seeker Samira. We would love to meet her as soon as you can possibly take us there.
oh, all right, I'd be happy to. And the dwarf woman presents has like a scroll case in her robes. It seems like she's going out of her way to present herself as a wizard. You know, has a fancy robe. She doesn't have a pointy hat, but it's like
sword on it.
But she's got one in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's formal.
Yeah,
It's a formal hat.
she has gone to some effort to portray her wizardly accomplishment. You know, she didn't go to wizard school for 7 years to be called Mrs. Wizard.
Right.
So
Dr. Wizard the Butterfly, or Dr. Mrs. the Monarch.
right.
Dr. Mrs. the Wizard? Yeah, that's it.
So she pulls up a contract that just says, like, it boils down to, you are not here to assassinate Seeker Samira, and that you're going to, you know, visit her in good faith, and it's like a magical oath binding contract type of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Because, you know, she's a high up in the House Thrask, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I kneel down next to her, and I'm like, I'm just going to have my expert take a look at this, and I hand it over to Melita.
Sure.
And so I'm going.
Beautiful beard in that robe.
Well, yeah. I mean, she
Where
clearly
did you-
like oils it
Yeah.
and like gets the curls just right. It's not like ringlets, but it's, you know.
Yeah. Where did you go to school?
Oh, here in Sharn, the
University of Cronenberg.
No. The GM just forgot the name of the university in Sharn.
Oh, the Morgrave one?
The Morgrave. Yes.
Where's his
Yeah.
dice?
I should stop.
Because Cronenberg and
Yeah,
Morgrave.
his dice are
two ones.
terrible, clearly.
Oh,
Yes.
Cronenberg's in
But at
Sharn
least
as well?
it's still
I think
six.
it's somewhere else.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
but-
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
Morgrave
in,
is what I was
Morgrave is
thinking.
here.
Oh.
Yeah. So she is a
Help me.
Did I? Yeah.
renowned Morgrave alum.
Oh, actually, maybe Kara could help you. If
What-
it's a
what
calculator
happened down
thing.
here?
She needs advantage,
Okay.
Or just a +1.
or just a.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if we're analyzing
No,
something,
your dice are terrible.
why don't you roll plus
I need to stop.
calculating to try and
Yeah,
help?
don't use my dice.
8.
That looks like, yeah. So take advantage,
Great.
which is at least a plus
Yeah, no
one,
uses.
but maybe
Yeah.
it'll be even
These
better.
these dice know what they've done. I'm just gonna put these over here.
Yes, it was exactly a +1.
Okay.
It's cool. That's
That's,
stuff.
that was
Okay.
+1 was all we needed.
And what were you rolling?
I was rolling scope it out
Oh yeah.
so that I can.
So before you ask questions, I'm going to give you the information that this contract is magically binding, right? And if you were to break the terms of the contract, you'll have the curse spell cast on you. But it also looks like the contract is what she said it was.
And that's what I wanted to know. I
Yeah.
was like, well, I understand the repercussions of the contract.
Right.
I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else baked in.
Sure. But do you want to ask one of the questions from here with that kind of base knowledge?
What should I be on the lookout for? I guess
Oh.
would be the best in terms of like the contract, or what is the length of the terms on it, or
Okay, you're reading the contract. And I'm going to tell you definitively, there isn't a bunch of small print. you can you have the measure of this thing, right? And you understand it, but you realize like you're getting like this weird vibe off of the orc guy who's here too. I'd like you to roll plus alien.
Okay. Could only go badly. It did.
What's the total?
4.
Okay.
Maybe it's the dice tray that's cursed.
It's possible.
Yeah, that's
It
possible.
does have a picture of a monster on it. So I mean, it could be the tray. Let's just put that over
Actually,
here.
I'm sorry. You were supposed to roll with advantage because of you had just used scope it out, and that's I was giving you advantage.
We
for
might have yelled at the dice tray too soon.
5.
It's exactly
Okay.
plus 1. Wow.
that. Okay.
Maybe it's you that's cursed.
All right.
Sorry.
I am the
Bad
stork
dice
of
all
this
morning,
game.
So as you're looking this over, you know this orc is kind of behind your shoulder and not like looming over you, but you're just in the presence of this guy. You think like he's trying to get Seeker Samira's job. You're not sure why you think that, but like this is a climbing MFer, right? Like, and
This guy has aspirations.
yeah, and is gonna like try to. At least this is what you think is happening, right? Is like this guy's gonna try to leverage the fact that he brought you in, right? So, that's the background while you're studying the contract.
Okay, well,
Anything to be worried about?
this is as it appears to be.
All right, may I borrow your
Yeah. She provides all the stuff you need to sign, and the orc guy is just standing awkward, like he did not need to be here. Like, all you needed was the wizard.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she could take care of herself. Like, why is he even here?
Sign with a flourish.
Alita,
He also still hasn't told you his name.
you've been here
He didn't
before,
bring it up.
right? Sean. So when people go to meet people they don't know, they have to sign a contract.
Not usually, but in this case, Seeker Samira is important.
So if you're important, you have to sign a
So-
contract to meet you.
Sometimes, yeah. Depends
Why?
on how important.
But why?
Because lots of people want to kill her.
So when you're important, you don't
She-her?
trust anybody.
For the wizard?
Samira.
Oh,
Samira.
Samira. Yeah, is she uses she her.
So when you're important, you don't trust anybody. I don't want to get
Sometimes.
important. I don't want to be important. I like trusting people.
It's a very nice part about you.
Yeah.
The and in the course of the conversation, like maybe you asked the wizard a couple questions. The wizard introduced herself as Leticia, and finally, and she in this like irritated way, like, and this is Proto Seeker Geralt, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm Geralt. Hi.
And I am Driftwood.
Okay.
Geralt, what a pleasure to meet you. Very, very nice.
Yeah. We're House Thrask is very excited to work with you.
What's a proto-seeker?
Well, I'm making my way through the house ranks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great.
You told me about those. They're like the little small creatures. The Zoas.
Oh no, different proto.
Oh, okay. Right.
And you see
Sorry.
he like pulls himself up to his like full 6'2", like I'm not small. He doesn't say that out loud,
Right,
but
but
you just see like the body language is like I'm important.
My
Mission accomplished.
I'm a big deal right here.
my 6'8" frame just kind of like claps him on the back, like, you big deal.
Yeah.
Good job.
Come on, big deal.
All right.
Yeah, come on, big deal.
All right. So we
Women always find out the truth.
That's right.
we head down through the tower. Do we need to do anything with this scene?
Nah,
Okay. Head down through the tower. Geralt is sort of explaining some basics of what you want to do. Is also sort of like kind of asking you questions you would expect Seeker Samira to ask you of like what is it you want to accomplish, like how can we help you achieve your goals, all this stuff like before you've even gotten to the meeting. When you come down out of the tower, the wizard Leticia gets a like air car pulled up that she herself is gonna fly for you, and so she like gets in the driver's seat, and there's some magical apparatus that she knows how to manipulate, and the 6 of you whoosh off into the night, and
I'm totally calling shotgun so I can watch how that thing
oh
works.
yeah, all right, yeah, you definitely pick up on what she's accomplishing there, and You're like, oh yeah, I could fly this if I needed to. No problem. It actually doesn't look that complicated. She you could tell this wizard wanted to make it look impressive and was, a little flourishy about it.
I know how to do that.
Yeah. And you pull up to a sort of you get a little bit out into the suburbs of Sharn, and there's a great big Gothic mansion with wrought iron gates, and you just sail over the top of the gate and land in the sort of fountain, round driveway that goes around a fountain in front of the mansion, and you land there. And
we should get one of these.
If only.
No, the skiff. For the boat, for our ship. We should have one, because these are cool. You want to make one? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let's do some shopping then.
We can name it the Minnow, because it's small.
When you show interest in it, the wizard, Leticia, is like, "What? I can show you some of the best dealers. If you're interested in this sort of thing." Like, she is lit up. She is a car gal.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, let me tell you about flying cars.
Kara's new friend.
Does this
I'm
have?
gonna go have that conversation.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I feel
Great.
does this have to have its own Earth elemental like ours?
Oh no, something this size, and then she is launching into a very technical
I
explanation
know.
of why it doesn't need an
And I
elemental.
don't understand nothing of what she's saying.
The Kara does.
Oh yeah, your Arcana understanding is like, oh, this is actually pretty
Kinda like
brilliant.
edging away.
It's efficient. It needs a little bit of fuel every year, and then that's it. That's pretty good for something this size.
Why would you want a craft you can't talk to?
Sometimes you're not in the mood for a conversation.
Oh,
So,
no,
as you all
that's
get
always
out in the
fun.
driveway,
I couldn't move for
I think you
conversation.
and Leticia are off kind of having a little bit of side conversation. But the house staff opens the door. There's two more orcs in footman kind of uniforms, and they're inviting you to come in.
I think you're gonna like it here.
As we get out of the car, I tip Geralt.
That's so demeaning. Can you roll intimidate, please?
So
Plus
good.
slick.
Power
So
With
good.
advantage. With fucking advantage. I
could-
feel put down right.
we could-
I feel insulted.
I think we could stop here because I think Adam just won. I mean, he really just won this entire game.
Oh,
He's-
intimidate
he's-
is volatile? Damn.
Oh,
Okay. Can I?
this is with Slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You have two to volatile.
Yeah. I'm gonna do an alpha strike. Oh, I do have volatile. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna
okay.
volatile too.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Because this is an aggression.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
11 plus 2 is a 13.
Oh, Lord.
Bam.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go become a baker now.
Okay, on a 10 plus, they have to choose cave in and do what you want.
So-
he accepts the money.
Yeah.
And clearly doesn't know how to get out of the social situation of he would have to tank
Yeah.
his career to yell at you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And has to.
Yeah.
The act of receiving this money is so demeaning and insulting to him.
Yeah.
And he's just broken inside.
But I see it in my head like you step past him and the wizard is looking over Car's shoulder with a look on her face did you just take a tip?
Oh yeah. She's looking down on it well, I mean up, but up
I
down.
look, as I see this transaction happen, I'm just gonna
It is utter brutality.
a kind of smirk.
Yeah.
Not smirk at him.
Yeah.
But definitely this is
Yeah.
Amber, you have a lot that I don't give you credit for.
I love it.
I follow the captain's lead.
Hey.
I tip him too.
Oh yeah, this is the thing we do.
Yeah,
right?
this is the social
Yeah, at this point he's just broken.
Yeah.
He's a broken man, and you put the extra coin in there, he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm
I think,
really
yeah,
earnest about it.
As
thanks.
we're walking along, I say to Belita, I'm when you give me a read, I know how to tell that story.
as
So
we're
good.
as we're
So
moving on
good.
from here, I'd like everyone to take another advancement.
Ooh, okay.
As that world-changing event just took place.
so great.
Protoseeker Geralt will remember this forever.
Smooth operator, I get to add an additional option to my con artist. You convince someone that something you offer is valuable. I think I got it. That's the.
Okay.
They're There's some really good moves here, but I feel like that one's.
I'm going to take too much confusion. When your unfamiliarity with the society alien to you exposes the absurdity or hypocrisy of their social norms, you may roll plus alien to manipulate them.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
alright.
nice.
And I am not going to do it consciously.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. I'm gonna take people person.
All right.
I think I'm gonna float like a butterfly.
Oh yeah, nice.
And when you use your reflexes or agility to avoid danger or deal with a threat, you have advantage to act quick.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So when you're showed into so this place is built sort of like an enormous hacienda style house, right? Like hacienda plus Gothic mansion, in that there's a square in the middle of the house where there's fruit trees and a pool and a fountain, and not like a swimming pool, but like a square pool that is something you can go sit next to, and there's some carp in it, and as you go in there, it's nighttime when you arrive, and it was like kind of cloudy. The plane, like Sharn, is often like cloudy and rainy, sort of Seattle kind of weather. But when you walk into the like open square hacienda space, you see stars and moonlight lighting this space, like bright moonlight.
This is nice.
And Samira comes out, introduces herself, and she has her dress, like wherever she's from, it looks like kind of a cross between like flowing Egyptian garment and Greek toga, of like however that overlapped, of like okay, that's costumers went wild on this one.
I can do it.
Put
So much
everything.
fabric. There's so much fabric.
There's so
Drape,
Yeah.
drape, you're like your life depends on it.
Yes.
Okay, bold one. Draped like the wind.
Yeah, and it does, like all of her, her movements are she's just very graceful.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a Grace Jones build, of tall, statuesque, and very kind of established, but it has a real short, kind of like Tilda Swinton haircut. So welcome to you, and this is actually like. Well, actually, Leticia was pretty warm to all of you. So Samira's like the second person you've met who doesn't blink when she introduces herself to all four of you with equal aplomb. So whatever that's worth, and invites you to come sit down at her. Like she has like a round table with sort of wire metal chairs to sit in with cushions on them, and. Invites you to sit down, and the staff is already bringing out tea and whatever else. Like, what can I get you? I'm sure you had a long journey.
I would love to sample something local and interesting.
Okay. The flying fish, perhaps.
Sure.
We have the style of cutting it up without cooking it, and maybe a slight marinade. I personally forgo the marinade. I like to just serve it as is. And flying fish is like a literal, like airborne fish that lives here.
Nice. Yeah.
I would.
Spicy.
Oh yes, I can. Yes, we have this imported jellyfish, and she's like, she knows she's like making a joke, right? Like she has it, but she is aware of like.
Oh, you have the jelly.
Yes.
I would enjoy a pastry.
Okay, like she's like, I don't know what you're gonna do with it. Like you can sit like, like she's not being a dick about it. She's just like, all right, like I'll sacrifice a pastry to see what happens.
Yeah.
And how about Cara?
Yes, also with the jellyfish. Please.
Okay, great.
We hear it's a delicacy worth a lot of money.
Has walked in with you too, like nobody told her not to, and she's like still telling you about, and she just pulled up a chair to sit down with all of you.
That's so
Oh my
great.
god, could she be played by Alex Borstein from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
Yes.
Who's that on the show?
She's the what's
Oh,
her
the
manager.
manager?
The manager.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yes, aggressive. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
That's awesome.
amazing.
She's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So we'll have to use the the Lord of the Rings trick to make her a
Yeah,
lot
the
shorter,
false
like
perspective.
4'6" and
Yeah.
and built 4'6" sideways as
Right,
well.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
like. Ugh.
From what I understand, she's pretty short anyway.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
only like 5 foot,
Yeah,
5'1"
she's
or
a
anyway.
tank,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
So she,
Which I use in the most complimentary sense.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, like
Because she's awesome.
To me, a tank is like
right? Yeah.
the greatest.
Yeah.
So
she's amazing. There's so
She's
much.
great.
So anyway, yes. So you two are having a little bit of a side conversation too, and Letitia also like tells the staff like what she wants to eat. Like, and Samira is like tolerating her is too cold like that, but she's like, this isn't the first time this has happened. Like Letitia's wrapped up in what she's thinking about,
Right.
And
Yeah,
Samira's
somebody
like,
asked Letitia about
She's
cars.
probably
Right.
happy.
Yeah.
She's probably happy that this time she's actually talking to someone rather than like sitting by herself just talking about nothing.
Right.
'cause-
Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Her usefulness outweighs her annoyance.
right.
Yeah.
She's obviously like a valued member of the house staff because she's like Samira's not like telling her to go do something. So. And also, like, a wizard is usually a pretty, established person in the house. So they bring in all sorts of things. We have a little bit of, small talk as we're sitting here. And
I just look at the pastry.
and Samira then almost word for word says, so I want to know what House Thrask can do for you because you have something we want. And she's just like bold-faced, like
Lay it out there.
yeah, we want to make money. We want to. She gets into all the details, not as crass as I just said it, but like, so how can we make this happen? Like, she is ready.
Let's make a deal.
Yeah. Without the used car salesman that I was, it's like she is just not dissembling or pretending to be coy. She's like, let's go. Like, what will it take to make this happen?
I think in terms of our crew dynamic, like when we're on the ship, yes, I'm captain, but like this is a negotiation, and I trust. Well, not you necessarily.
I was going to say, you want me to take over the negotiations? I can totally do it.
But like,
Less adept at peopling.
yeah. Like I get doors open, but like Kara and Melita, I think are you guys. You're much more intelligent than I am. I'm average intelligence. I'm just pretty and charming. So,
If it helps, though, I do have a pastry.
yeah.
Oh yeah. What are you doing with it?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay.
I'm holding it like this,
Okay.
and I'm looking at it.
Okay, great.
He loves his bread.
So I imagine we have some back and forth. What I mean, you could say
Swirly
in character if
pastries.
you want, or kind of out of character generalizations. Like, how do you want the conversation to go?
I think that we don't want to be, like, we absolutely cannot be beholden to House Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to need House Thrask to guarantee us against that.
Yep.
And then, and we can we will obviously, like, we can bring in goods from Brine and Wellborn that the like of which they have never seen before.
Yep.
Or or just the rare delicacies,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
sculpted emerald.
Right. Yeah.
Those are worth something?
What's
other
what's
people.
Kara putting into the conversation?
I think in general, my role is let Melita handle the top end of the negotiation, and then when we're close to the deal, I'll run the numbers, make sure all the math
Oh yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Is Letitia even letting her be
cruncher.
part of the conversation, or is it like, oh no, we're talking about skiffs now?
Oh yeah, she's she also understands that she works here.
Okay.
Leticia is like
Yeah.
a professional,
Yeah.
if nothing. So.
Well, and I think this is also what I'm good at is I can engage the talky people that might be a distraction otherwise. So so I can come in and take over the like let Leticia tell me about cars while you do the business stuff.
And like we organize negotiate profit cuts and shares and all of
Sure,
that kind
and
of
just
business.
like opening the door to have bigger conversations about this. Okay, so all of that goes into place, and or is at least drawn up, right? Like we have some sense, and at some point Leticia has to like break off to like start putting the scroll together. She's not actually writing it; she unrolls the scroll, and writing appears as she concentrates and is like trying to absorb the whole conversation, and writing changes and paragraphs move and adjust, and she just is staring intently at this page to make sure it reflects your conversation.
That never happens when I look at paper.
No, it's
Well, Driftwood, you're not a wizard.
I've never tried to cast a spell. I could be a wizard.
And as this
Okay.
as this is coming about, Samira, without really missing, like she's not making this what is it? Like she's not acting like this is a weird or bad thing to say. Well, first of all, she says, Leticia, if you would please, and the wizard looks up from the paper like, what? Oh, and snaps her fingers, and this cube expands from your table, passes through you, right? Of this like sort of white light, whoop, and there's a cube around where all of you are sitting, and all the sound cuts out from outside.
Cube of silence.
Yeah. And also you realize the illusion of the like night sky and moon, it's cloudy above now, right? Like you can't see the illusion that is the beautiful night sky, right? So you're in this like not quite no magic zone, but you're in this like cube of privacy. And Samira says, so the number one way to ensure House Orion doesn't interfere with our deal is to remove the head of House Orion. They are a grasping, competitive base bunch, and will crawl over each other to accomplish their goals. If we remove a high-ranking official, the house will be thrown into chaos for months, and we will have enough time to establish your trade routes.
Out of character question, real quick. She's not saying that she wants us to kill the head of House Orion, right?
She's suggesting that could be possible. Yeah, I mean, she and it
Okay.
seems completely unapologetic. It's just
Yeah.
like suggesting assassination.
Oh no, I was just wondering. Like, I mean, it'd be like saying go kill the head of the Medicis, versus like.
That's exactly what
Okay.
it
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Enough said. I don't understand. I'm looking at a patient.
It could just be that she's coming in at the high end of a negotiation to expect, like, well, what about something in,
Yeah.
But she would love it if you could. She doesn't know if you can assassinate the head of the House Orion or not. So,
Is that kind of thing within our charter? Like, we're here to negotiate a new deal. Does that include?
oh well, Brian has. I mean, House Orion is essentially the enemy of Brian.
Okay.
As far as like the town council is concerned, yeah, Orion is on your shit list. So.
I love it's like Orion and Brian are like a high-level nemesis, but we have the personal nemesis
Right,
with
yeah.
Guildmaster Limas.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like all the way down.
Yep. Yeah.
We do have a pastry.
So
we have that going.
yeah, Lemos is
Exactly.
a name that has been specifically spiking your wheel, and is much further down the chain than the head of the House of Orion.
Yes. But maybe you don't have to remove the head of a snake in order to
Shoot, you can cut it right in the middle. It's gonna have a bad day.
that there are myriad ways to disorganize an organization.
Okay, well I'm interested to hear a proposal.
Though, before we get there, your person, Gerald.
Oh, yes. Did he do something to offend you? And
just
she's like
wonder-
immediately sitting up and
He has aspirations. Did you know he has
Oh.
aspirations?
yes.
So many.
I hope he gets better.
And she says,
We'll look that one up later.
she says, my nephew has a inflated image of himself and his capabilities.
I mean, maybe not anymore, but I just wanted to make sure you knew.
Interesting.
Should we have not tipped him?
And she like her face like she controls it very quickly, but you saw right the like delight of like
It's it's very admirable that you would give him jobs to do.
Can I roll my my new
yeah.
outsider move with that?
Yeah.
Because I'm like showing the hypocrisy of the whole thing. So this plus alien. So that would be 10.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
what's it do?
So what is your
So basically I can manipulate them. I basically just want her to look better on us because of what we did.
Oh yeah. I mean, she was already like middle to above average, approval. But yeah, your acceptance rating here just went up into
I'm
the
helping.
green. Yeah, she's very impressed. And the way you brought it up, she actually now thinks you're like a skilled, like, oh, I underestimated what a skilled socialite you are. And you
It's all a facade.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
right,
put on
yeah.
this facade of the doof, but
Yeah.
are actually like, oh, okay.
Which of course I'm still holding the pastry.
yeah, no, but she has your measure now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You
Is it-
have to maintain appearances.
That's right.
But yes, I think that we could arrange a little some unfortunate accidents for House Orion.
Well, if you were to carry something like that out in the next week or so, I would feel comfortable signing this agreement that we've drawn up. Obviously, we probably shouldn't write down that part of it, but
What are we, amateurs?
Right. What?
but I have no reason to back out of it. Obviously, our house will benefit immensely.
I think all we want is benefit for everybody involved. You know,
A mutually beneficial relationship.
Well, perhaps it's best if you don't tell me more, and I will look forward to hearing about upheaval within House Orion. And shall we meet next week for brunch?
Sounds lovely.
I'll bring my pastry.
There'll be a new pastry.
I can get you a new one.
I have free hand.
Well, as you like. And she's gone back to like she can't figure out what your game is, right? Like this is
Lot of
clearly an
levels.
act of some kind. And like I'm gonna wrap my head around this one. So we'll move forward a little bit.
Yeah.
You're on your own in the city. You have any of you been to Sharn before? Either during the war
yeah,
or
yeah.
We both spent
we
time
met
in
here.
Sharn.
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe.
You don't remember.
Probably.
Go with probably not.
Yeah, okay. So you lived a long life, but you pretty much were a homebody, like stayed on the island, and yeah, okay.
These are very big buildings.
Yes.
I mean, wow.
Well, when you don't have a lot of gravity, you can build pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad I'm wearing my belt.
Kara, I think we're gonna need a car.
Are we?
I was gonna
What? Go ahead.
like take Letitia's car on the way out.
Like steal it?
Yes. I mean, for the night.
Yeah, it might. It could sour the deal,
Okay.
right? Like,
There's lots of other cars you
Yeah.
can steal.
yeah, because she's a direct employee of the house that you're trying to make a deal with.
Wait, does Geralt have a really nice car?
Okay.
Yeah,
Never
Borrow
mind.
his-
Letitia's nice.
Right.
But we're taking Geralt's car.
yeah.
Yeah. We just arranged with Samira, like, we could really.
No, we
use-
don't. No. I'm stealing it.
No, you're.
That's fine.
So, but we take it, but I leave the pastry.
Okay. Great.
Fair trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't want to leave them with nothing. That's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
All right, so yeah, we have this like equivalent of open top kind of white and gold Rolls Royce kind of hover car type thing.
This is a very nice car.
Right?
This is nice.
Everything in it is like gold leafed.
It
It's
looks lovely,
obnoxious.
but it has no performance whatsoever.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pretty.
Look
I
how many
like that
cup
it's
holders.
shiny.
So yeah.
There's a lot of couples.
Oh, being aware of the time, what is our plan to upset House Orion?
Well, I think we need to find Limos, and we make sure he goes somewhere that he doesn't want to go.
And
May-
also, I mean, any deals that they're involved in
Uh-huh.
that we can stick a finger in that eye.
Let's give him to the squid.
Right?
Sure, he
Yeah.
was hungry. He was enslaved and stuff. I mean,
This is
Yeah,
actually
right.
not the worst plan I've ever heard.
Yeah.
tactical genius
Yeah.
or something.
But we could give them to a squid.
A
That
squid.
Particular
There's
squid.
more than one.
Oh yes.
Do we fast forward to was it Minister Lemos?
Yeah. Guild minister.
Guild minister.
Yeah. Heading out on a big pleasure cruise ship, not like a personal yacht, but like a little bit bigger than
Uh-huh.
that. There's like a big party, and we have the sort of the Ocean's 11 kind of.
Did we like to sneak on
prep
board?
of-
Or
Yeah,
like
that's
a fake,
right, yeah.
fake-
getting on board and then finding a way to, like, obviously you don't want to sink the whole ship, like not
Yeah.
everybody here
I'm
is
serving
California.
drinks.
Yeah.
It's like R2D2.
Yeah. So
his your electricity dagger like pops out of his head.
it seems like we need a device that is a cross between Summon Monster and
Dinner bell.
There's a version of Friends for Monster,
Charm
Charm Monster,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Let's science the shit out of it. Roll plus calculating. Oh yeah,
10.
That's a 10.
Yeah, that's
All right.
a-
So yeah, you come up with the readings you had initially got when you chased the squid away. Like, oh, I think this should go. And as you're like doing this research, you realize like, oh yeah, the ocean floor is not completely covered, but there's like a thriving giant squid population of like, oh yeah, this is a thing. You could. That's why the Sogwin have this as a super weapon. Like, it's pretty easy for them to call up and control a giant fish. So.
Well, good. Now we can do that, except ours will be friendly squid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, precisely.
We'll give them something they want.
Squid
so-
friend.
So we have a pastry.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, I left that at the. I left that, in exchange of the car.
Um,
We'll give him the guild minister instead.
So-
Yeah.
So you can pretty easily drop this little beacon thing off the back of the ship when it's the right time. What are you two or three of you doing to get Lamos to the back of the ship, and to be able to tentacle him
What's
off
our
the
Ocean
ship?
11 plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my methods are usually pretty obvious.
I think
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to.
In other words,
Okay,
sexy
so
times
here's-
is my problem.
You're sexually
Where I'm
distracting.
gonna
Yes.
like backtrack just a hair and say that I'm using my signature move, the setup.
Okay. Yeah.
When I use my contacts, charm, skills, or gadgets to prepare for a covert incursion into hostile territory,
Uh-huh.
Nice.
I get to roll plus slick.
This seems
Okay.
apropos. Oof.
Fine.
Yeah.
That'll go.
So that was an 11.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm going to ask 3 questions. It's like, where is the target normally located? Where are their defenses and security weak? And who do I have on the inside?
Okay. Yeah. So Minister Lemos is hosting this party, and so it's pretty easy to tell where he's going to be and when. But your research makes it even easier, right? And you have not just like a waiter, but like the whole catering staff has been paid off, and is they're not like a paramilitary group, but they're just feeding you information, and they're willing to do that because of the emerald you handed them, or the owner of the catering staff.
Now I only have 1 rook left.
And
I hope to use a mermaid.
yeah,
We'll get you a new chess set.
and the you realize kind of the best place to get him is to this back into the ship. There's a below deck section where you could still come out, but it's this little bitty like step out section, like when you have a little balcony in a hotel room, right? So right at the back of the ship, it's just above the water level, and there's really like only engineers would go down there, and the ship's running fine. Like there's no need to, you don't have like it's not like a modern day ship where your engineers in a ship this size, you would have somebody on staff all the time,
Yeah.
just ready to work on the engine. There shouldn't be anyone down there. So you've got a pretty clear idea of where to take him, how to get him there, organizing all of that. It's just a question of making it happen.
Fantastic. Now we have a plan.
Yeah. I think we lure him down there.
What
are you?
What is it you have to roll to be sexy and alluring?
I don't have to roll for it. It just happens.
Well, but I mean, you're.
But I would manipulate.
Yeah. Okay, let's.
So
I can
are you ready
offer
to
my
be-
hotness as currency when I manipulate.
Could
Yeah.
tell
Are
if
you
we're-
ready to be bait?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I
I couldn't
ready.
tell if we were talking about the character or
Yeah.
Adam.
Lemos is interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's lured down there, and that's when I turn around in all my hotness glory, and I see his eyes widen in enjoyment, I believe.
Oh yeah, like when you start coming on to him and he's
As anyone with a 6'8" iridescently green Jason Momoa would do.
Yeah, and this guy's like 5'8", balding, kind of pudgy human, and
he likes to he
likes
the
what
big
he
boy.
sees.
Yeah. And I flash my grin at him, and I just kind of do the come hither, like like letting him know what he thinks is going to happen is or what he wants to happen is what he thinks is going to.
Yep. Or not. No, that's
It's gone
forever.
forever.
That one, yeah.
No.
Same thing up there. That's 6 plus 2 is 8.
Okay. So you get him to go downstairs with you, and the downside is like some of the wait staff and other people, like, they have seen you go off with this guy who's like powerful but not well liked.
Yeah.
Right? And so in the campaign, you would have negatively affected your reputation because you went to make out with this guy. Right? That's the 7 to 9 result.
Yeah.
You were hoping no one would see you.
Right, yeah.
Go with him downstairs.
Yeah.
And, well,
But they know.
Yeah.
I'm probably distracting the security somehow
Okay.
by being the waiter and doing
Oh,
something,
great.
you know.
Let's roll.
I was
your-
really going for color,
Yeah.
hoping I wouldn't have to roll. But okay.
Nah, it's more fun if you have
Yeah.
Be terrible.
I'll do the too much confusion again because
Okay.
drinks are weird. Who consumes? That'd be 9 and 2, so that's 11.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you have very effectively corralled the crew.
Oh, Lemos, he
Yeah.
went up front.
Yep. And they are going around. Look, you have brought Lemos back here.
Yeah.
I think the three of you sort of come out, or the two of you come out of the shadows. You're walking him down.
Yeah.
And he's starting to realize, like, oh no, this isn't what I thought.
I'm actually I wanted to alpha strike.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I offer him a drink.
Well, you're upstairs
Oh,
distracting
that's
the
right.
security,
That's right.
which is making this possible.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
It's a 10. These dice are better.
Yeah.
Don't use these ones. These ones are.
So I can choose
flighty.
2, which is I am going to disable him, and our position is not exposed or
Okay.
compromised.
Great.
So we are sneaky.
That's
and
good because a big old kraken's about to come out of the water behind the ship.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You should have the Kraken roll stealth.
Well, yeah, I think it's time to summon the kraken. So
Yeah.
if you wouldn't mind rolling calculating to operate this device you made.
That's a 9.
Okay. So the device is just going to be one use. That's the complication. Is you were hoping to like get it back and like reuse this thing, but it boop, and you're like, oh, I didn't put the buoyancy thing on it. Goodbye forever.
A lot of your devices seem sort of one use. Don't
Right.
they?
I did
Yeah.
it once, I can make it again. It's fine.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
and you have to, like, you could jump in after it, but like, you're out in deep water. It would take forever to
You're
get
wearing a
back.
nice dress too. It's a
Yeah.
party boat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be easier to make it together.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing bloop, goes off, and you see this sort of blue-white pulse of energy out under the water that nobody notices up on deck, but pretty soon these grabby tentacles come out of the water, and Lemos is like, "What? I'll give you anything. What do you want?" Like he's like begging to but he's
all
also
you need to do is make friends with our friend. That's all we want.
okay. So.
And by make friends, I mean
Do we have that
Squid's
moment
hungry.
where like the squid grabbed him and like he's being pulled back and you see like the balcony and like we're all standing there like Ocean's 11 style like
Yeah.
we're all in on it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And he's not a good dude. Like, like we don't have to feel
Yeah,
bad
we
for
don't-
him.
yeah.
Like he's
I want my father back. You son of a bitch.
right? Yes.
exactly, and then just over the edge of the.
Oh.
Well, and hopefully some of the rest of the people on the boat can see, so they can be horrified by his timely, untimely, and completely accidental demise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? Actually, also, what people realize when they turn their napkins over, they see the evidence or some sort of there's a. Oh no! Maybe we do some sort of like magical illusion projection at the front of the boat that's distracting them all, and it is a scene of Limos offering the town of Brine to the necromancer. Yeah.
That's fabricated, but
Yeah.
okay.
And then
No, it's visual. It's completely
Like-
believable.
Good.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna play,
Yeah,
but
we-
I think it'll be fun
Not
to
much,
like sow the seeds that because it's not just Limos that we want to take out, but form even more problems that the that we like because we use the Kraken and the other people who are trying to use the Kraken are the
Sogwin?
Oh,
Sogwin.
puts them
I was like the
against each other.
Sealy. No, wrong.
No.
Oh, so we blame them.
So we blame them and start a confrontation between the
House
Orient
Orient.
and the
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely distracted with that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
because they thought they had paid off the Sogwin, and now the Sogwin have turned on their deal.
Yeah.
And
Okay, let me get
yeah,
And the camera switches
Oh,
to
that's
like
that's better than the
to
projection.
the bottom of the ocean where the device we used to summon it, and we
multi.
realized that it was made from Garrow's car.
yeah, some chunk of that was important aspect of now built into this device.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so yeah, the Minister Lemos is done away with. Everyone is seen House Orient to be the villains of like, well, wait, maybe I mean it's not Brian's fault they got turned into zombies. Like that's the sort of like, you know, the beginning of neutral attitude towards Brian, and so. That's established. House Orient is in disarray in their skirmish battle with the Sogwin. You know, like 3 different pirate groups are like, you know, mad at them, and House Thrask is able to come into Brine and set up the kind of trade arrangements that you like to see. Let's jump ahead 6 months.
nothing like fermenting discord.
Right?
Yeah, let's
Sail into
epilogue
the
these
sunset.
characters. I'd love to see what you're all up to 6 months from now. If anyone, whoever has a thought in mind.
Yeah.
I am breaking into the second in command's house in House Orient,
Uh-huh.
and like cracking their safe.
Oh, cool. All right, that's fun.
It's
I
like
that.
just a heist in progress.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else?
I think I'm actually in Secret Samira's bedroom.
Oh.
Yeah, get some good
It's
old.
like helping her change sheets, or
Yeah, like cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
folding clothes. Yeah.
trimming wicks.
Yeah. But it's
Testing her
clear,
wands.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But no, she's been pampering me as we've carried on a nice
Okay.
little fun distraction.
Yeah.
And then I jump in a new skiff.
Well, before you do that,
Uh-huh.
outside her house, I'm directing Garrow to put another coat of polish on the new air
so
car
a
while I
Biff,
wait for you.
Yes, yeah.
Marty versus
Yeah,
Biff scene.
yeah, the Mario Biff scene. As I'm waiting. You know.
Yeah. And then we fly back off to the
Yeah.
Chiron X.
Where to now, Captain?
All right. How about Kara?
Tinkering. We've got the squid summoning device to work on. There's improvements to his crossbow that
Uh-huh.
can happen. Clearly, Melita needs some more things to help with the breaking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we see you like in a fully like upgraded workshop. You know, like especially if your workshop's in Sharn, you would have access to all kinds of materials and
Yeah.
tools and
Oh yeah.
something like that. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like the idea that like while I'm perpetuating
Doing a crime.
perpetrating this heist.
Yeah.
That we actually have like a little communication spell.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we're
I'm like,
talking back and forth.
we're
yeah.
talking back and forth about like, oh, how did this new thing work out? Well, maybe like if we could tweak it this way a little bit.
Yes, yeah, right.
Like, Kara doesn't know you're in the middle of a crime.
Nope.
You're just saying like, oh yeah, this thing that I used, like it worked pretty well, but it was a little slow, and I wish it had taken a little bit less time. And you're like,
When I think we look behind Car and there's like a big blueprint board, and there's like the plans for like the Kiranex version 2, which is like even bigger, you know.
Yeah.
And Letitia's there.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
So
Yeah.
working together.
awesome.
She's awesome. Yeah.
Yay.
Best
And
friends.
yeah, and there's like a little sort of crystal ball viewing thing where we can see the squids, the little squid colony. Like, and we, we like wave to them when we
High
go.
five squids.
Yeah, yeah.
Friend
And they-
squids.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like a pot of like the squids aren't like sapient, but there's a pot of them
But it's
that
like-
become
yeah.
friendly to
Hanging out in the harbor and-
Yeah.
well, particularly they're attracted to floatstone in a good way, right?
Uh-huh.
They sense floatstone nearby as like, oh, that's a friend thing.
Yeah.
And brine ships are the only ones that use floatstone to get
Yeah.
around. So
So they love
yeah,
us.
you've built this clear advantage
We
for brine.
befriended the squids,
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
which is the real treasure.
That's right.
The friends
Everyone?
we made along the way.
that's Impulse Drive in Eberron.
I love
Real
it.
That was
treasure is
fun.
the treasure.
Yeah.
That
is-
worked really well, honestly.
I,
There's
Yeah.
treasure inside.
I hope you had fun. I had fun, which is really the most important thing.
Yeah,
is,
that's fair.
And thank you for joining me for this. Folks listening in, thanks for joining us at Happy
Thanks.
Jacks. You can find us online, all the socials at Happy Jacks RPG. You can also find us at happyjacks.org/shows for any and all of our epic campaigns and one-shots and everything you could ever want to know about us. And
Strategicon.net.
yeah, strategicon.net for all. They have like 3 cons a year here in LA. So if you're nearby or semi-local or around the world and just want to come to a cool con for a weekend, that's where you can find everything you need to know. And for me personally, I stream on Happy Jacks every Monday and Wednesday. On Wednesdays, we're playing Eidolon Academy with Kimmy as our GM. On Mondays, I'm either GMing Shadowrun or playing in Kadave's Things from the Flood game, insert coin. And what else have we got going on? What are you up to, Jen? What should folks know about you?
What should folks know about me? Don't really know if there's anything super special about me that anybody would care about.
Locally famous.
Locally
Locally
famous.
Locally famous.
Locally famous.
Yeah, tell people about the thing that you do.
So
I didn't want to step on it.
I paint miniatures. If you are also a miniature painter, I teach and participate in contest judging at ReaperCon that happens
Oh, way cool.
Cool.
Labor Day in Benton, Texas.
Oh, nice.
That is
Okay.
not local, so you are just straight up famous.
Yeah, that's rad. Actually, everyone knows what ReaperCon is. That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Brian again. If anybody needs a cool book of monsters, Kobold Press is currently kickstarting Tome of Beasts 2. And it's
Just barely funded.
Just barely funded.
They've squeaked through.
squeaked through. So it's now
I'm being facetious.
600 monsters big, I think, and a lot of them are backer monsters. So people are going to be submitting monsters if you sign up for the Kickstarter, and I think there's still some days left. So yeah, go check it out, koboldpress.com. The Kickstarter is really long, and I don't have it memorized, but yeah, Google Tome of Beasts 2 Kickstarter, and it's really good.
Awesome. I'm Pooja. You can find me pretty much every Sunday at Happy Jacks playing Call of Cthulhu and alternating Sundays Vampire 5e. And I would like to remind everybody that our Rainbow Railroad fundraiser is still going on. It's an amazing organization that helps LGBTQIA+ people get out of areas in which they are persecuted and have threats to their lives. We have so far raised $5,818 last I checked. But our goal is to raise $10,000, and we still have a week to do this, and I feel like we absolutely can if we can get everybody's support. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that is at happyjacks.org/rainbow.
I'm Adam. You can find me alternating Monday nights on Greenwood Collective, Jason's Shadowrun game that I'm playing in, and also on Wednesday nights on Eidolon Academy. And then that's pretty much it. Also, go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter get your hands on a backing pack for Decuma.
What's Decuma?
What's Decuma? We already told them. We showed it.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but that's the cards that we used at the beginning of this game to make character bonds. You can do this for your world building. R&D for your RPG, but Kimmy, who's Happy Jack's famous, and just all around famous.
Yeah, world famous.
World
Yep,
famous. Has created this game. It's really amazing, and we've all been like, it's in all of our games now. We all
Yeah.
use it because it's brilliant.
true. Right.
So good.
Yeah. So so you should go do
The
that.
Kickstarter is mega funded. It's there's
Yeah.
so many cool unlocks happening. We're
Yeah.
trying to get to the gold leaf cards.
We want
Please,
those
I
gold
want
leaf
them.
cards.
I want
want
shiny
them.
packs.
Yeah.
So go
Shiny
donate to
can be
Rainbow
like button.
Railroad. We all agree that's kind of a top priority for us.
Yeah.
Then go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter, which
Yeah.
you probably just said. when I
That's
zoned
right.
out.
We say it again.
And happyjacks.org/rainbow. And
Yeah.
do all those things.
Yeah.
And just so you know, too, this isn't a random goal of $10,000 for Rainbow. That's about what it costs to get one person out of a dangerous place into safety. It's a Canadian charity. They take care of visas and plane tickets and get someone a place to stay at first
And they take care of like actually getting someone into a safe zone where they are while they arrange travel.
Yes, yeah.
So there's financial support at the beginning, and then get them and make the connections when they get to their new location. They put them in touch with local groups to help them get established.
Yeah.
So they're not just like a courier service, but they're actually setting these people up for success. And they currently have a 100% asylum rate.
Right.
Like the people that they are helping are getting asylum in new countries and getting established. So,
These are literal heroes saving literal lives. So please.
Yeah,
help
that's
us.
not an exaggeration or hyperbole. Like, that's,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why we care so much about it. And if you can contribute even $1, like literally everything counts.
Yep.
Whatever we can send them, we will be proud to send them. But that 10K mark isn't arbitrary. It is, one thing we'd like to be able to do this year. So if you can get on that, and you know what, totally understand also if finances are tight. That's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get
yeah,
that.
for a lot of people.
Share it wide and loud. Tell everyone you know about it because that helps just as much.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
anything else
No.
before we go? Okay, well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And that's it for us.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.